like it was written in our destiny. Well, can you feel the fire as we're moving to the rhythm of love? And every time we're close together, you make me feel so fine. The way you say those magic words and look into my eyes, I get this crazy feeling deep in my soul when you hold my hand and never let go. Girl, you make me lose control when we're moving to the rhythm of love. Yeah, the rhythm of love. The rhythm of love. Yeah, love. The rhythm of love. I'm spinning out of control when we're moving to the rhythm of love. The rhythm of love. The rhythm of love. I'm spinning out of control when we're moving to the rhythm of I met you on a sunny day. Right there, you took my breath away. Young and pretty, was it just a dream? The next day, you called me up. You told me I'm your little buttercup. You came over and you fell into my arms. Well, I know what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. I woke up all soaked in sweat, with chills running down my neck. I'm going crazy from just the thought of you. A long blonde hair and your beautiful smile. Your sense of humor makes it all worthwhile. Don't make me wait, it's not a funny game. You know just what I feel. Please tell me your love is real. You make me smile when I think of you. If I am down or when I am blue, I can't get enough. You make me happy, I feel so fine. Oh, how I wish that you were mine. I can't get enough. Hopeless lover. Hopeless lover. A hopeless lover. Hopeless lover. You make me smile when I think of you.
Hey guys, welcome to the stream. How is everybody getting on this evening? How is everybody enjoying their week in general? Let's see who we at least seem to have here. I can see a Matasbo. Bubba and Wiggle are in chat with me. Hey Archive, how you getting on, man? Then we have General Kenobi, Faux Schnizzle. We've got... oh, Nano Drone is here as well. How is everybody doing this evening? Now, it's another episode of the Sunday The Talk, where we explain where babies come from. No, we don't. We definitely do not. None of us know that. Nope.
Or
Never known that. Mm-mm.
Nope.
It's a mystery. Hey, Omega, how you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. So, yeah, as I said, how is everybody getting on? Have you been doing anything interesting this week? Is there anything...
for the caps.
That was fucking quick, and oh god, I just looked over and what it was. Thank you, Nano, for the $4.99. No, thank you for fucking that. You know what you did. For fuck's sake. So yeah, has anybody been doing anything interesting this week? Is there any news in the gaming sphere that you guys are interested in? And anything you're excited about? Obviously, we know that the pit will be coming on the 13th of next month. So that is something sort of interesting for all of us that play Fallout 76, but for people who don't, not so much interesting. But yeah, that will be coming and should technically be interesting. Hello, Derek Snelling. How are you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. What is crack or lacking? But yeah, so do you guys have anything you'd like to talk about? I mean, I don't think you've said hello to everybody, have you? The fuck was that, Bubba? You just went,
I think she swallowed her mic.
I mean, that is not the type of live stream we're trying to do.
Wow.
It's like the opposite of ASMR. It's just yelling to the mic as loud as possible and incoherently. Just
Doubtfire, okay?
Oh, that no. Yeah, you totally
Exactly.
you totally missed the mark.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I think what you did was your mic just quite literally decided to just go, I don't fucking know what she just said. So I'm just gonna ad-lib the noise, which was just
I'm not gonna repeat that. That's what the mic said.
low res chat. I don't know if that's what Omega is just saying in general, or if he can't hear me properly. But yeah, are we sounding okay? Other than, you know, the Bubba going off our tits.
Are two of us sounding okay?
Echo.
2 out of 3.
Right. If I'm
Echo,
echoing, it could be something to do with this. Give me a second.
I don't hear you echoing, so maybe it's on the stream.
Yeah, it's probably on the stream. I've been having to edit a lot of stuff recently. That should be monitor off, monitor off.
All right, I'm gonna mute in here and I'll listen to the stream. Hang on. How do I mute you?
Who is the echo coming from? Or what is echoing specifically? Oh, I sound fine. That's fine.
Oh, it's me. It's me.
Oh, I can sort of hear it. I can sort of hear it in the background. Sort of hear it. I'll turn you guys down a little bit, so that'll probably make it a little bit easier. So both of them have echo. Let's just edit this a little bit, because it could be something to do with my audio stuff, because again, I have had to edit stuff recently. Because of the way my doodads are working now. I'm just going to double check there's no other audio. So if both of you could, well, one of you could say something right this second.
Something.
I'm just checking if there's anything else picking up audio, and it shouldn't be, so you should be fine. I don't know, Mr. Free, so I don't know why it would be coming through. Because everything on my Discord is recording, and I can see all the audio inputs, so it shouldn't be recording you guys as multiple things. Still echoing, apparently. That's really annoying. That is really annoying.
Well, I could try leaving and coming back.
No, it's got nothing to do with you. It's to do with my new settings that I had to do. Because you guys weren't talking the other night in the other streams, so that would be the thing. You love me. Thank you for the sub, Derek. Welcome to the channel. Why the hell is that doing it? I honestly can't think of it. It doesn't, Mr. Free. That's the problem. It doesn't have two audio channels active. Say something again, one of you?
Something.
Yeah, my OBS only has one audio channel active when Wiggle talks, so God knows why it's doing it. It could have something to do with, actually that's maybe it. What we'll do, go into studio mode while I do this, swap onto the Discord end of it, and see what's going on with, actually I think I just need to transition onto it. That's probably, no, back out of studio mode. No, can't figure it out. Honestly, can't figure it out. So I have no idea why it's doing that. It's very strange. It's genuinely really strange. It's maybe something I'm going to have to figure out. Because it should only, yeah, it should literally only capture you guys in that that thing. That's really annoying. Because I suspect they're both on. Go to the audio section and see if audio channel 1 and 2 are highlighted. Go into the audio section, properties. Oh, wait a minute. That might maybe do it. Wiggle, can you say something now?
Something.
Was that working now for you guys?
Is this working? Echo.
They will show as one output on your OBS. But yeah, you do show as one output on my OBS, so God knows. Hey Tachanka, how are you getting on, man? Nope, still dual. That is fucking weird. That is genuinely really weird. Because I've put, like, all the audio stuff is onto, like, what's the way to put it? Oh, actually, maybe if I put you on... Wiggle, go again.
Again.
I put you on mono.
Mono. Mono.
Don't cough into the mic. That's not a good
Sorry.
Alrighty. So yeah, we've got apparently cyborgs in the chat. That is what it is. It definitely is what it is. But yeah, guys, have you got any gaming news that you guys were interested in throughout this week? Anything that's been going on, or anything that has been happening in general that is interested you in the gaming sphere? I know there's a couple of things I've got queued up to talk about, but is there anything anybody else is interested in? I mean, what about you, Wiggle or Bubba? You, Wiggle, and Bubba. Oh, I started going Bubba.
The stuff Bubba posted looks pretty cool.
That is something we will be going into. I've got the pages loaded up for it, but not quite yet. I'm going to need to, like, record a bunch of stuff and go from there. Sounds like you have one of your Stream Deck settings on. Oh, is that? No, I don't think that's it. I've turned voice mod off, so I don't know if that's maybe it. I hope to God voice mod isn't doing funny buggers again, because that program is a pain in the arse. Meat Week is still... Fuck off with your Meat Week thing. It's literally just no on the Meat Week.
No, Meat Week sucks.
None of us are happy that Meat Week is about.
Meat Week is crushing the servers.
Like, Meat Week is a pain in the buttocks.
Yes.
1 week of it is more than enough for anybody. Literally 1 week of it's more than enough for anybody. Any more than that is just... Oh.
It should be Meat Weekend, is what it should be.
The problem with it as well is that the servers can't handle it.
No, they cannot.
I mean, literally the servers can't handle it, so it becomes an absolute pain in the bottom when it comes to regards to that. So yeah, no. It is a pain in the arse. Is my voice normal now, if it's been apparently acting weird? Because I honestly, there shouldn't be any echoes or anything coming from me anyway. I need to figure out what is going on with you and Bubba the Wiggle, so that's maybe something to I'll need to figure out at some point. Because I had to change all my audio settings because new headset. So the problem with my old headset is it kept disconnecting and reconnecting, so I had to buy a new one, and it doesn't have the feature that was on the old headset of having game sound versus regular sound, and it's just a pain in the arse. So I've had to put you guys on a plugin. So the plugin basically separates Discord audio from regular audio. So it literally takes my audio from very specific sources. And it may be something to do with that. It could be that the plugin's maybe not working properly. Though apparently OBS will be getting the plugin built into it in the next little while.
Okay, I'm seeing. Okay, so I'm looking at the Discord. Bubba's got like some video going.
Yeah, Bubba's got something going on. I've been watching it, waiting for something to happen.
It's a background.
Okay.
Oh, all right. I'm like, why? But I'm seeing it. Like when I'm looking at the Discord, it's there. It's like this overlay over the Discord.
Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
I can click on it, and it'll come up on the stream behind me. Though I don't have a green screen, so it doesn't like it's something that you can use it as the main thing. That is where it is going wrong. The plugin is sending it to both default and the plugin. The default audio isn't being recorded though. That's the problem, Mr. Free. There is no default audio. On what Discord, what OBS should be recording is my mic and Discord. Nothing else. It can't send it to the default because the default is completely muted. So yeah, it shouldn't be working. Hey Lauren, hey PT Buns. Did I miss anybody else? Just double checking. But yeah, how are you guys all doing this evening? What is crack-a-lackin'? Yeah, as long as I sound fine. Fuck, marry, kill, Super Mutant, Paladin, Romani, and Preston. What? I think it's very much kill Preston. 100%. 100% kill Preston. And because you technically can't fuck the Super Mutant, you're forced to marry them. They don't have any genitals.
I don't even see that one. Oh wait, that's why that's why.
They don't have genitals. So I suppose I'm marrying a super mutant.
Yeah.
Well, there's
you can't marry Preston because he'd be constantly sending you out because another settlement needs your help. So that would be
no, he needs to die. Like
yeah,
Preston needs to die in a very real way. Just spent like 2 or 3 hours getting the old Hitman games to work. That sucks, Omega. No, but it's pushing the audio over both channels via that plugin. The Discord plugin channel receives it from 2 sources and puts both sources into the Discord channel. Any idea how to fix that, Mr. Free? Like, if you don't know how to fix it, it's fine. But yeah, if you have an idea to fix it, we'll go into that. But yeah, so let's just talk about gaming. So yeah, do you guys have anything that you've thought of outside of the things that we already know in terms of gaming news? If not, I'll move on to my first one.
I got nothing.
That's fine. So one of the things that I was wanting to go into today was this horrifying abomination. So if you guys didn't know, the PS5 price is going to increase in select markets due to global economic environment, including high inflation rates. And they are putting up the PlayStation price. I think it works out about £30 where I am. I don't know what it is overall, who's all getting shafted with it, but the UK typically gets really, 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 really shafted with the prices of the PS5 games and whatnot already. Because if you guys don't know, PlayStation 5 is getting sued by, well, not PlayStation 5, Sony is getting sued by a group of people who've like crowdfunded money, signed petitions in regards to, for example, you guys get, let's say you've got a game that's $70 over in America. It's also £70 here.
Which is more.
Digitally, it's £70. So we are getting taxed by X amount of the price on every single game. And let's be honest, no one sells consoles thinking to make a profit on the consoles. The whole point is to get the games sold. So they're making like a massive profit out of the people in the UK. And the fact that they're hiking up the price of the console as well now is a load of horseshit. It is literally absolutely disgusting what they're doing. And they need to... They can't rationalize it either. They can't say, oh, well, exchange rates, because the exchange rate doesn't equate to it. If we were paying, like, let's say, £65 and you were paying $70, you could at least go exchange rates. People would be like, all right, fine. But yeah, it's absolutely disgusting what they're doing. And the fact that they're then bumping up the price of the console also in the UK is equally disgusting. I don't know how it works out for everybody else, but I know for a fact that there's like a massive hoo-ha involving it. So what does everybody think about that? Do you mind the price increase of the PS5? Do you have a PS5 already and therefore are going and rubbing your hands together? I mean, I was looking to get a PS5 at some point or another, but yeah, I'm kind of a bit pissed off with their shenanigans.
Seems kind of strange, like the timing of it, because I mean, I get inflation, except for component prices have been coming down now that, I mean, like video card prices have just been coming down hard.
Well, there's a couple of reasons behind it. It's energy prices are going up, obviously. So
yeah, energy, sure.
That's the reason you guys aren't really suffering from it. But Mexico's getting a price hike, which I'm kind of like, it can't be solely related to that. But you have to also remember that there's some hoo-ha going over with, is it Taiwan at the moment, involving China?
With China, yeah, Taiwan.
So they create quite a lot of components for digital products, and like computers and things like that. So that could be in relation to that as well. So I'm really not sure. Just wait 5 years and PC will have a PS5 emulator. Well, I mean, Dan, that's pretty much always going to be the case when it comes to anything versus PC. PC will outlast any console because, people just keep making them better. Hey, Ethan, how you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. Hey, Matt, what is crack-a-lackin'? $20 increase in Canada here. Glad I got mine before the price increase. Not that it's $20 that. Yeah, I don't think it's the fucking point of this is the biggest price rise ever, and it's completely crashing the market. It's more a case of they're already like charging different prices in different regions. If they were charging like the same equated price all over, it would make sense. But if they're not bumping the price in America, then America clearly are getting cheaper consoles for some reason. And that's what doesn't make sense. It literally doesn't, like, it's a case of you can go, oh, it's inflation and energy prices and all these kind of things. But there's an exchange rate for a reason. Currencies are equivalent to each other by exchange rates. Therefore, saying it's inflation doesn't make sense if the currency hasn't changed. Like, it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, and it really annoys me. Yeah, that is another point, PT. They are pretty much putting the prices up at everything and then not paying the people that work for them enough. And a lot of people are going to struggle over winter, especially over in Europe in general, because of the whole hoo-ha with all this. I mean, it's literally like there's a lot of stuff going on in the UK involving it, about like government rebates, spending caps, all that kind of thing. I pretend to understand all of it because I really don't. But the fact that companies like Sony are then gouging people as well. And let's be honest, it's not like we're fucking falling over PS5s. They're literally fucking so hard to get. And what tends to happen is people buy them and then they sell them for a profit. Like they mark up £100 or £50 on them. So all that's going to do is drive those prices even higher. All the prices on eBay, all the prices on fucking CEX or one of our other places that you can trade in consoles to. There's a lot of places that are just completely gouging everybody for this. Exchange rates are all idiotic at the moment because they don't translate to what you would actually pay. Ugh, there's just a lot of shit that doesn't make sense at the moment, Mr. Free. I think it's in the kitchen. To be honest, I'm full on hardcore Dark Souls fan, so it triggered me. I can't play Demon Souls Remake. Oh, Dan, 100%. That's like the main reason I want a PS5, is so that I can play Demon Souls, because I can't exactly play it on this. I'm kind of hoping that we get a Demon Souls, port
PC
onto PC. Well, that's the thing. We've got a lot of PlayStation 5 games, PlayStation 4 games coming over to PC at the moment, and there is definitely 100% a Sony launcher in the works for PC. They are definitely working on a Sony launcher. So there is a chance that they'll bring the games to PC, which would then completely discourage me from buying a PS5 in the fucking first place, which would make this entire point moot. But at the same time, if I want a console, it would be the PS5 over the Xbox anyway. I've never seen a PS5 in a shop. I have, Tachanka. If you go to any cash converters or CEX, you'll find plenty of them, because people can't afford them, buy them, and then trade them in. It's the fact that it increased the price at all. This is the first time a company has increased the price of a console. Yeah, I don't recall any price increase ever.
No, I don't either.
I mean, outside of when you buy them secondhand, or like ancient consoles, and they cost technically more than what they did originally. I can't think of a price hike ever. Let's see, different divisions, US sales more, can reduce.
Does Bubba know she's not muted? Okay, she was.
She's just not talking.
No, but she
That's
was muted, and I was just
here.
okay. But you never know with you, right? Like you could be here and talking, and you're like, "Why isn't anyone responding?" All right.
I think they aren't doing it for the US because they have bigger sales in that market. But you know the reason why they have bigger sales in that market? And it's partially because, obviously, it's a bigger area, because they fucking supply them with the PlayStations. Do you know if you actually supplied Europe with the PlayStations that you supply the US with, they'd sell? Because every time I've went into a shop, like an actual shop that sells consoles, they're always sold out. So to say that the sales in the US are better, no, it's the supply that's better. There's a massive difference when it comes to supply versus demand. The supply versus demand in the US is probably less ridiculous, but over here the demand is a lot higher than the actual supply. I can guarantee you that, because I have never went into a shop that actually sells consoles like legitimately for the actual recommended retail price and found them. Never once. So I think there's different factors here. Mom hates me and won't talk because I'm here. I don't think that's true, Mr. Free. What's the laws on scalping in the EU? You got any anti-scalping laws? I honestly don't think there is any yet, Ethan. I think they're working on them. I think they're working on anti-scalping laws, but as much as I recall, there isn't anything definitive. Hey Kira, how are you getting on? I don't know why Fallout 76 is boring now for me. It needs something new besides events. Kira, well, that's like I don't think I'm going to be playing much until until the pet comes out, because there's literally not really much to do. Meat Week completely kills my any like motivation to play 76, because let's be honest, it's a massive pain in the butt. But yeah. The EU officially has laws, but they aren't enforced. Well, I think the problem with like scalping laws and things like that is you need to be able to prove it as well. It also needs to have a certain degree of it. But yeah, no, there's plenty of people that definitely have like PS5s that are just a pain in the arse and holding on to them. Hey Jeffrey, how are you getting on, man? Besides the plug, is there a difference between the PS5s and the America and where you're at? Yes, Jeffrey, there is a difference. The way that it's PAL versus NTSC. So if you put a UK game into a PS5, it won't work. The only like the main country that works with UK stuff, and I don't know if Europe has this as PAL as well. But in the UK, like I can go to Australia, buy games from them, and bring them back. But I couldn't take games over there because the certifications, if I was to trade them into like a shop or try and sell them at a shop, the certifications are different. So there's like PAL is what the UK is. NTSC is what you guys are. So technical difference. It's DPS, not at work, but the wife has me working. Kitchen, pantry, my arse. Hey Velo, how you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. We all need more content for 76. Yeah, 100%. It's a massive pain in the arse. Stores sell them by the pallets to scalpers. Fucking hell, Mr. Free. Fucking hell. Like, if they are getting away with that, then they need to get fucking kicked in the nuts. I thought they got rid of that PAL stuff. As far as I'm aware, Dan, they haven't. I mean, I know they did for the... God, what's it called? The Switch. The Switch isn't region locked, so you can play any game from any country on the Switch. But I've never heard that for any of the Xbox or PlayStation consoles. I could be wrong. They might have done that for the PS5 and whatever the fuck the newest Xbox is called. I've literally lost track. We've went over this before. But as far as I know, we are still PAL. I could be wrong. But if I am, fucking call me on it. Or if you can prove it. But yeah, that is what it is. Even I played Division 2 and it was a little boring after. Yeah, no, I think a lot of games are that way. If you play them too much for too long, you are going to get bored of it eventually. And 76 is one of those games that I'm surprised I have not dropped like a fucking lead balloon. It's an easy game to play. It's an easy grind. And there's a lot of games coming out that potentially could replace it for me in the near future and in the long term. Does PAL have a different voltage as well? I don't... Well, actually, PT, I'm fairly certain the voltage, well, like the plug that goes into the consoles is the same. Like the literally the voltage that goes in is the same. It could be that in different countries they have to add like some sort of transformer to make it work in different countries. But no, it's to do with how it's basically the data is processed. It's like two different formats of data. I don't know the real reason of what it is, but it's literally like encoding kind of thing. So it's not got a huge... literally, I don't understand why they do it, but they do it. I think it's just to do with how you guys encrypt your software versus how we do it, and it's just tradition more than anything, instead of, just making everything the same. But it is what it is. I just played Far Cry 5 recently, not so bad. It's on Game Pass. Oh, I didn't know Far Cry 5 was on Game Pass. I might give that a look at some point. Region 5 will be region free. This means you can play titles from other countries if there's a game launched.
Steam has a or at least they did. They had a Far Cry sale. Like it was like a bundle, all the Far Cries, like yesterday or the day before or something.
But if it's on Game Pass, it's free.
Oh, there's that.
it's like I could buy it, or I could have it for free.
Or I could play it and not buy it. Yeah.
I mean, it's not really free, but it's I'm not paying anything extra.
It's included in what you're already paying.
Hey, Blue Fusion, how you getting on? Can Xbox and PS players mod their game like PC can? Yes, but only select games. I'm fairly certain the Xbox version of like Fallout games and Skyrim, you can download mods for them, can you not, off the Creation Club?
Yes.
So technically, yes, but it requires the actual game to allow it and the developer of said game to allow it. But in regular ways, no, not really. Not unless you are capable of coding and uploading the code to your console in some way yourself. I don't know anything about that. I'm sure there are people out there that can do that and probably do that, but is a kind of normal way of doing it? No, not really.
Death Stranding, isn't that just like a walking simulator?
I have no idea.
I think it's... I think that's a I guess I was thinking it was a PS3 game, but it must be not an exclusive. But I remember when that came out and I watched it, it was like, it looked amazing, but you just walk far. You just walk everywhere.
Well,
So,
there's a motorbike, is there not?
on that,
I'm fairly certain there's a
maybe.
motorbike.
There might have been. Oh, yeah,
you're-
there might have been. That's
you're-
right.
you're
And
playing
just
that
have
game
like
wrong.
a giant stack on your back, right? It's like stuff on your back, farther, farther, farther.
And a baby. Don't forget the baby. The most
And a
important part is the weird
oh,
baby.
and the weird baby. Oh, I forgot about that. It's been a while. I mean, I watched a video on it when it first came out. And went, yeah, it's not for me. It looked amazing though.
It's a Hideo Kojima game. It's not for everybody. They are very odd games.
Yeah.
They're very kind of strange games. But yeah, like I like Hideo Kojima games like Metal Gear. Well, the Metal Gear series, I should put. But yeah, if you're not prepared for it, some of the shit is weird, and not for everybody. Yes, it's basically a walking sim. Use it to chill out of a gaming session. Might give it a try at some point. But yeah, no, it's a pain in the butt that we can't just get all these games and play them. I wasn't very excited about the permadeath one at all. Yeah, no, I agree, Mr. Free. Kojima games are divisive. Some people love them, some people hate them. I absolutely love Kojima games. He's got a way with plot and narrative, and it is weird. And the big problem is, I think it's a cultural difference. You have to remember that Hideo Kojima is Japanese, and the things that they find to be a normal way of doing things is not normal everywhere else. They're one of the few countries that have still kind of managed to keep their identity intact without kind of homogenizing with other countries. I mean, that as much as every country has its own culture, in the West, typically, a lot of our cultures are bleeding into each other in ways. And as a kind of result, we've all got that same kind of rough idea. I mean, if you go to America and you go to the UK as a big example, like our cultures are very, very similar, mainly because our culture is your culture, traditionally. Same with like Europe. There's quite a lot of their culture is bled into you. So yeah, like Japanese games typically have some of the weirdest shit ever. You've both went quiet.
Oh, I was reading the chat, and Bubba apparently can only communicate through the chat. So
Why can she only communicate through the chat?
I think it's a choice. It's a choice. It's a choice she's making.
It's definitely a choice she's making.
Use your voice. Woman,
don't
let's
know
hear you
how.
roar. Right, I know. And you want to stream? That's going to be a problem.
She's never spoken before.
I can't anyway. So
I was going to say,
does
that's
it
just going to
make?
be an issue. You want to do a stream, and you're going to have to talk. Just saying.
Just 9 hours of Bubba staring.
Typing into the chat.
Staring, typing into the chat, and crying. Just like, I don't know what to
Probably.
say.
Yeah, exactly. I don't.
She'll invite 15 people. You can do that. You can just invite a bunch of people in the voice with you, and then you don't have to. But
There we go.
people want to hear you.
Oh, you
I wanna know
found the
what you have
TK
to
Mantis
say.
stickers, even. Nice. Stick them to your face.
TK Mantis. I don't know that.
He is a Fallout YouTuber who quite dislikes 76.
Oh, okay.
Like, he really fucking hates 76.
right.
He has made many a rant on Twitter about how he fucking hates 76.
Gotcha. Let's see. I'm looking at his site now. He's got a lot of subs.
Oh yeah, he's a really big channel. He did some stuff involving, I think, QuakeCon recently. I could be wrong about that. But yeah. Catherine, we know about it. We just don't know how to fix it. And it's too late to try. I'll probably have to try and fix it. Well, at some point during the week. It's the big problem with this new headset, and apparently there's going to be a new OBS 28 coming out soon, and that's meant to technically fix it. But at the moment, I can't do anything about it. So we'll cross that bridge when we meet it. Let's see what these stickers look like. Funky.
Oh, those are awesome.
Funky, funky.
So they're separate. So it's a headset that's separate. Or does it have a mic? I can't tell.
Oh, it does. It's got.
Oh, I
let's
see.
say
It's on the right hand side.
like-
Yeah, I can kind of see it. Yeah.
But it's to
You don't have that turned on, do you? Oh no, that wouldn't make us. That
no,
wouldn't make us
no.
echo.
It's the thing is, there's nothing visually, like on the stream, that tells me you guys should be echoing. Normally, when you talk, it would pop up in two different things, and I'm like, right, that's where it is. I'll mute that. But at the moment, it's literally just showing that you're. Well, it's just showing like when you talk on a tab I've got set as Discord. So I don't know why it's doing it. I mean, actually, that's maybe a thing. Let's see what happens if I hide that. Say something.
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 Are they echoing now?
Are we echoing now? Now.
Because I just noticed that there's, when I hid that, you still appear.
You don't want to sound stupid.
No. It's like
That's above. That's why I don't talk. I don't want to sound stupid. Like twice as stupid, right? Like I don't want to sound twice as stupid.
literally. It says something again.
Again, something. Less. Hello. This is only a test. Hello. Breaking news. Is this good for you? Yeah.
It doesn't
How do you
make
like-
yeah.
How do you like that?
It doesn't make sense because the only thing I've muted is the thing that should be that, like, that's really weird. It's not making anything disappear. For some reason, yeah, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I'm not going to pretend I understand what's going on
You're just
here.
a monkey clicking buttons right now, huh?
It doesn't make sense. Like, honestly, doesn't make sense what it... Because the thing that I've muted is the thing that is still showing up.
Right. Oh, okay.
But it's still making sound come through, so that's fixed it. Right, that's fine.
All right.
Yeah. Hey Lewis, how are you getting on? Hey Brian, what is crack-a-lackin'? How are you both doing this evening? Welcome to the stream where we are just going to talk a load of shit. DPS, check your OBS inputs. I already have, Mr. Free. There is no reason, like that, the tab that's labelled as Discord shouldn't show up while I've muted it. But it does. It's not like there's two of them showing up. It just appears. I don't know. It's really daft. Hey, Coda, how are you getting on? Script my pants. Are you going to do another one?
So you'd beg him to stop.
I mean, yeah. Have I not done enough of them? Are you wanting it to be free videos of them a week? I could technically do that. I'm not gonna. I'm not
It's a second
fucking gonna.
channel, the Script My Pants channel.
The Script My Sanities channel.
Right? Where he just does script. It's a live feed of his script.
The OBS screen bottom right box. I don't know what bottom right box you're talking about. Because in mine, it's not the bottom right box. Because I actually don't have a bottom right box. There is literally there's a
I
screen.
have a question for the chat. I'm interrupting you. I have a question for the chat. How many of you found his channel from a Script My Pants video?
All of them.
Right? I mean,
Not
I did.
me.
That's how I found it. Was a Script
Not
My
me.
Pants video?
But no, I think the box you're talking about, Mr. Free, is the one labelled Audio Mixer. If it's that one, yeah, there's not two things that are doing anything in there other than me talking and Discord. So, yeah, I have no idea why it's doing it, literally. And I've muted the thing that would technically take that out of the audio bit, and it's still working. I don't know why it's working. I can't pretend I know why it's working. We'll just go with it.
Right? It's magic.
So there's quite a few. Script My Pants is like watching kids fall down. I'm here for I want 5 Script My Pants a week. Well, you're not getting that. And the crafting vids. Oh, no, we don't talk about the crafting vids. That's the worst ones. My short-term memory ain't so good. I can't remember. I mean, I don't think many people should. Then it still gets more sources into that. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing it either way. But there's only one thing that should be giving that source, and I just genuinely cannot fathom why. That one shouldn't actually be there. Why is that one there? Where's that one even disappeared to? I'm very confused. Try talking again, guys. I want to see if they hear you echoing again.
This is a test. Hello.
The emergency broadcast system.
This is a pre-recording sound check.
This is a pre-recording of everyone being murdered with a stick.
This is a post-recording sound check.
Dad's got a higher tolerance for disappointment than I do. I typically want to jump through her window and beat Murg. Oh, you're trying to imply I don't want to beat Murgs to death. The second that becomes an option, she will be literally splattered over a wall. It will literally be amazing. I have no idea why.
I don't know what you did, but apparently you fixed it.
I don't know what I fucking did either. I really don't. I'm literally just muting different things and doing a different thing. So yeah, what I found his channel when I started playing again. It was the Alien Weapon Review. Was it the original one where I said it was the fucking worst weapon in the game? At the point, it was the worst weapon in the game because it literally did no damage. You couldn't get good effects for it because it wasn't. Actually, no. When it became legendary, it was still the worst weapon in the game. Because I made like 8 of them.
The adjustment, right? It was when they did the legendary balancing or whatever. It was when it became a good weapon.
The energy balance.
Yeah, when they fixed the laser weapons to actually do like the proper damage they were supposed to be doing.
I have no idea why that was doing that, but I might need to mute it on the other window. So we'll cross that bridge in a wee second. So let's see. Oh, fucking hell! There's quite a few really weird things that I've looked up today. Well, for today, like news things, and yeah, some of them are going to be awful to talk about. Like this one that we're bringing up. Let's see if it's looking good, and I'll mute that there because I think that's what's causing the issue. So yeah, so Xbox boss Phil Spencer sees potential in NFTs for gaming. So, who else thinks that Phil Spencer is full of shit?
Yes.
Who else thinks Phil Spencer needs to take a long, hard look at himself and say, maybe I should flush my face down a toilet? Little Bear, Sickleman's Cabin, but I might be biased. Wait, what? What now? I need to look up any secret in Fallout 76 that are good to check out. Oh god. Don't go into Sickleman's Cabin. For anybody that doesn't know, Sickleman is apparently like a boogeyman in Fallout 76. There's only like one thing that says Sickleman was here, but still, you have to imagine.
Fallout 4, right? I'm pretty sure there's a Fallout 4 mention, like when you when you're going towards Diamond City, like one of the sewer entrances, you go down it.
Oh, probably.
It says like on one of the walls or something, Sickleman was here or something like that.
But yeah, probably. So yeah, essentially, Phil Spencer, one of the Xbox bosses, was speaking to Bloomberg about the whole play to earn mechanics of NFTs and all that kind of thing. And if you've been living under a rock, NFTs is this massive pyramid scheme that has popped out recently in the past couple of years, and people go absolutely fucking off their nut. It's like cryptocurrency gone insane. Like, I honestly can't understand people paying like millions for a fucking picture of a chimp and then saying, I have this picture of the chimp, it is the original chimp. It's like, yeah, but I can fucking control copy and, you know, make a thumbnail of that chimp. You might own the original, or what's considered to be the original, in the blockchain and all that shit, but you don't own the actual fucking picture because it can be posted everywhere and you can't do anything fucking about it. And I'm fairly certain that somebody got their magic imaginary chimp money stolen from them. I'm sure there's a couple of people that got them stolen from them. It boggles my mind how these things are a thing. Like, literally, I don't understand at all how NFTs can be a thing. And I find it really, really disgusting that these companies are trying to wedge them into games where you can fucking earn NFTs in games. It's like, it's literally like trying to trick people into spending hard-earned money on really, really stupid shit. You were closer in the sewer in Fallout 4, a wee regular unarmed or unnamed killer. Pikmin. Oh, Pikmin was the guy with all the like cards and fucking photos up, wasn't he?
Named. The other one was, so it didn't actually say Sickleman in the. For some reason, I was thinking it did.
It was just a man with a sickle.
Yeah, something.
It was actually just Sickle Man or Nano Drone in a basement holding a scythe that he'd broken. What should we expect from the pit? Is there a boss we should be aware of? Coda, no. There's no boss in the pit. It's literally just a case of a kind of daily ops type mission set. There are different ones. You also have the chance later on that we're going to be getting more branches of expeditions. We'll maybe get more in the pit. I'm almost certain we'll get more in the pit anyway. And it'll kind of expand the story and kind of maybe come to like an ending for it. We're gonna get different locations eventually, but we don't know when. And yeah, there's just rewards. It's honestly a kind of daily ops type expansion. It's not anything groundbreaking, not anything amazingly amazing, but yeah. This has got to be fake news. Phil was saying that he was neutral at worst about the NFT stuff. Even that would imply that he hasn't changed his mind or been forced into a situation. Like, the biggest problem is, while Phil Spencer is the Xbox boss, he's not the Microsoft boss. He's not, like, the definitive boss. He's a sub-boss. If Microsoft looks at them and goes, yeah, we're going to go in the direction of NFTs. Sell NFTs. Talk to people about NFTs. He's going to have to go, alrighty. So I think there's a lot of companies out there that are just looking for a way to make money. And this is a very easy way to do it because there's a lot of gullible and impressionable people out there that have been spending all their hard-earned cash on things that they think are going to be worth millions, which in reality end up tanking and become worth nothing. So yeah, no. Expedition will go for the route. No, I'm just reading. Not till Nuka World. Yeah, the new boss that we're getting for Nuka World is the next big boss in the game. It's the Ultrasight Abomination. We recently got a data mined photo of it in its fully rendered glory. It is 100% a big fuck off mole rat. It's a giga mole rat. So the next boss in the game is going to be a giant mole rat. It's going to be a lot of mole rat meat. I assume it's going to be delicious. It's been 2 weeks since I've been able to play Fallout. Still fighting Microsoft about my account recovery. Hopefully you'll manage to get it back soon, Nano. If not, punch them in their testicles. Was it not Phil that had the master plan years ago that Xbox players could sell their games? Or couldn't sell their games? Probably.
Oh, I forgot
probably
about that. Yeah,
like that. So that adds more to the maybe not the man with the best ideas, the best plan. I'm just surprised that Pittsburgh is still using food stamps. That's a good one. That is actually a fucking good one. Hey, country boy, how are you getting on? You gonna play the Winter's End DLC for Resident Evil Village when it comes out in October? Probably. Probably. I'm just hoping there's not a fucking creepy flesh baby in the basement. Because that would not be fun. Carnivore Chads, we keep winning. What was that, Bubba?
Da-da.
No. 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 It makes
That was a very confusing stream for me because you watched, you were playing the part when out in the basement with all the baby sounds. I left the room, went and sat down in a chair, fell asleep, woke up, came back, and you were fighting a giant robot, and I was just yeah. I don't have any idea how you went from one place to the other, but
I'll tell you this now. It was not a fun time. It was definitely no. Hey, Folivora, how are you getting on?
Game, so.
It was.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. After the Lady Dimitrescu castle, the game's quite short. I mean, I felt like I spent a lot of time in that castle in that first part of the game, and then the rest of it just seemed to come really, really quickly.
Just breeze by. Well, probably it felt shorter because it was more fun after you got out of the house.
I didn't mind the castle part. So I think maybe the castle was a lot longer than it seemed to be.
Two different games, honestly.
Don't even start me on the fucking fish guy. Oh, I hate him so much. Oh no, that gave me the prop. As much as the baby was like, "What the fuck is that?" The fish guy genuinely made me uncomfortable. Yeah, I'm doing good as well as can be expected, Folivora. Welcome to the stream. I think I said that already, but you know, I like making sure I did actually in fact say it. I'm the same way with actual babies, fucking hell. I mean, if you lock yourself in a cupboard and or hide underneath a bed because of actual babies, I think you might have a phobia. Bit like Resi 2 when you get out of the police station. Honestly, you might be right. You might be right, Lewis. It's been a long time since I've played Resident Evil 2, but I do recall the police station being like the biggest part of it. I'm sure you guys would like me to play Five Nights at Freddy's at one point if that's your reaction to me getting myself shit scared. The worst part was when fucking Metasbo dropped a you-know-who while I was running away. I fucking shit myself twice.
You mean Cubby Boy?
No. We don't talk about that.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
I think Cubby Boy needs to find you and move in.
No. I haven't played the newer Resident Evil games, but I know spoilers. I don't think I could handle any of those in VR. Oh, can you imagine that baby in VR? Oh.
I've never played a VR game, so...
I have. VR is something I'm really, really, really interested in. But it's more a kind of... I never have the money at the time. Like, when when I've been looking at prices, I just never have the money. It's always quite a chunk.
Right.
But I'd love to play VR games. One of the ones that I played years ago was called Super Hot. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No.
So what I'll do is I will bring that up on the stream, if you give me a second. Because Super Hot is really fun, and I'll let you kind of see it. I mean, you can Google it as well. But I'll bring it up on the stream so that everybody knows what we're talking about. Right, that should be it. So it's quite a simple game. It's not like anything fancy. Why is that not fucking doing what I wanted to do?
Super hot.
Why is voice mod back up?
I don't know.
It's literally not letting me bring up my... No, that's really weird. Why is it not letting me bring up that? That is so strange. Technical issues. Yay.
Uh-oh.
Ah, there we go. So that should be it now. At least I think... Oh no, I've done it in the wrong fucking thing. Of course I have. We'll get that up in 2 seconds. This is the problem with... There we go. So, yeah. Super Hot VR game. The way I'd describe it is it's kind of like if you were to play The Matrix. It's a very funky game. in which you can do all sorts of... Why is that video not... There, go back. You can basically grab guns off your enemies, shoot them in the head. You dodge bullets in like slow motion and things like that. And you just like punch their faces in. It's like one of those games that's just really, really cool to play. And it's not long and it's not hard, though you can obviously increase the difficulty of that. But it is like a really fun game to play. And you can...
Things you never want to say to a woman.
Yes. But it is a VR game. And it is just a really cool game to play. Like, I 100% would recommend it to people. And it's one of the few VR games I've played. But it is just really simple, really, really basic. It's nothing like groundbreaking and graphically crazy, but it is fun. That's the key thing to say about it. It's a really fun VR game.
That's the point, right? Things got to be fun, and yeah.
Well, if it's not fun, don't play it. That's pretty much my standpoint on a lot of games. If you don't have fun with it, don't bloody play the damn thing, because
why are you
what's the
doing
point?
There are lots of games to choose from. If you're not having fun with that one, choose another one.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's another reason why I'll probably go back and play the other Resident Evils as well, because I mean, I've got all of them with that Humble Bundle discount we got recently. I also got a couple of other games recently from Humble Bundle that were going cheap, like the Dragon Ball Kakarot and Tales of something. I honestly forget what Tales of Arise? Sounds right.
Yeah, no idea.
Games that I've been interested in. Like, I'm a massive JRPG and anime fan, so I like all those types of games and that. So it's that kind of thing. But it's something that I might record me playing, maybe not stream. Just like do a let's play of it kind of thing. Because the long games, maybe cut them down. It really depends. But there's lots of games that I've got that I can play. Well, it was going cheap, Mr. Free, and I got the deluxe bundle for, I want to say like £8 off Humble Bundle, and that comes with all the DLC. The only thing it doesn't include is like some of the cosmetic shit. So worked out for me. But yeah.
I have this theory on VR, on the future of VR, maybe the distant future, but I think, you know how there's video game like tournaments and stuff, you know, they have the competitive gamers or whatever. So at some point you got to figure that the gamers will be like these elite athletes because of VR, right? I mean, imagine if you're doing Skyrim, you know, something like Skyrim, but you actually have to run for your character to run, fight for your character to fight. Like, you know, like all the gamers would just be like these ripped elite athletes.
What, in VR? They'll just be ripped, but in VR.
In VR, well, no, like in real life, because you'll have to actually do the motions that your character's doing to get your character to do the things. So
I'll be honest.
I'm gonna walk across the entirety of Skyrim, and it's like, okay, you got like these giant legs. And...
The problem is that's not how VR currently works. Is the way I'd put it.
I did say the distant future,
but yeah, they do have.
I was thinking like Star Trek, you know, like the holodeck kind of.
But have you not seen the VR like walking things? Like they exist where it's like a unit that you can buy, and it's like a treadmill. So when you walk,
and so you put the little goggles on, and then you can see scenery as you're moving your legs, even though you're not going anywhere. Okay.
Yeah, they exist currently. The arm movements obviously aren't quite the same, but there's games like, have you ever seen Beat Saber?
No.
So Beat Saber is another one that's kind of similar to DDR and Super Hot. Well, it's basically combined DDR and Super Hot, and that's what you get. It's a really, really popular game in terms of VR. I'm just trying to load it up now so that you can see it on stream, and then we'll go back. And it's literally swinging lightsabers around to a beat and hitting boxes, and you need to hit them in a certain direction with a certain hand. You've got a red and a blue lightsaber. You basically just do that. So that's obviously going to build up like your arm dexterity and strength in the arms because you're doing repetitive motions. In theory, you could put weights onto your like VR handsets and do it that way. There's also a case of DDR and games like that. The repetitive movements and things like that would help build leg strength. So there is an element of exercise to certain video games. I mean, I don't know, like the Switch has well, all Nintendo consoles have quite a few of games that help with exercise, and like they've got the Ring Fit for that, where basically you do all these exercises with the Joy-Cons and this weird ring thing you've got.
Okay.
Enter Player One in real life. I still not seen that. I know it got mentioned to me a couple of times. Someone hooked that walking rig to death. Stranding. Fucking hell.
Oh, jeez.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Just, that man was never seen from again.
Right.
Beat Saber, is that what you kids call it these days? It's certainly not. We call it Meat Week.
Right.
So much chafing from Meat Week.
Yes.
Shame it didn't have the uphill movement yet. Well, I think that wouldn't be too hard to create as well, Mr. Free. I think the uphill movement isn't something that's necessarily...
Most treadmills have an adjustment for incline.
It is a treadmill, but it's not a treadmill. Think of it as a floor that moves when you try and walk on it, is the better way to describe it. It's literally like, it's the grip on it. The second you move your feet, it just moves. So if you were not rigged up in a certain way, you'd probably fall in your arse because you're kind of held up by the rig.
Oh.
It's a case that if you tried to walk on it normally, you'd probably fall over because it would be the equivalent of somebody like hoiking the floor out from underneath you.
Okay.
So you're kind of hanging from like a mic boom, basically. Here they go with the Enter Player One talk again. Always recommending that game to me, they are. Not game, movie.
Is that like Ready Player One only? No.
Oh yeah, no, I think that's what it was. But yeah, that's like that movie's been getting recommended to me for the past like year and a half.
Really? People recommended
Been
that
out
to you?
for like 3.
So why would anyone recommend that movie?
Because they like that movie and they want me to watch it.
All right.
I've watched most of it.
Yeah, like I've seen it.
That
but
does
I
not
wouldn't
bode well
recommend
for
to
it.
anybody. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, it was fine. It wasn't one that I would say, "Oh, you have to see this." I'd be like, "Yeah, if you don't see it, it won't matter."
Ethan wants me to read the book.
There's a book? I didn't know there was a book. I have no information on the book.
Nor do I. I mean, I have no information on the movie other than it has video game characters in it.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically
apparently
that's
you're a
what it is.
movie hater now. You're a
okay.
hater.
That's it. I'm a hater.
Mr. Free is going to find you and he's going
I didn't
to
say
kill
it was
you.
a bad movie. I just said I wouldn't recommend it. There's a big difference between hating it and wouldn't recommend
Well,
it.
there's a big difference, but it's a small difference as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, well,
like,
no, I didn't say it was a bad movie. I just didn't say it was a good movie. It was just kind of one of those in the middle movies.
I think you're splitting hairs right at this moment.
Not at all.
Oh, for fuck's sake! Thank you for the $5, Bubba. But why?
Because I can.
I mean, you can also beat
cackle.
Wiggle's brain open with a stick.
Thanks
I
for
don't
the
see you doing it.
cats.
Doesn't mean it
No,
hasn't
that's
happened,
because he's like 16 hours away.
right?
I mean, you could get a big stick. Like a
don't think I can
really
lift-
big... Oh, God, you fucking set Nano off as well.
Thanks for the cats.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you for the $4.99 Nano, but not the ball dragon bitch. Not the ball dragon bitch. I think you have to be old enough to appreciate most of it. I mean, Surfer, Wiggle is as old as a tale of time. So he's definitely old enough. Maybe too old? Is that maybe it? Is that it, Wiggle?
I Don't ask me.
Were you like back in my day? Games were played on a paddle, and the ball would go from one side, go boop, and go to the
Not
other
at
side and
all.
go boop.
Not at all. But it's like there is a big gap between I hate something and I love something.
Oh,
Like, there's a
100%.
big gap in the middle, and like so it kind of falls in there. It's not like I hate it. It's the worst movie ever. I never said that. There are way worse movies.
Mr. Free, most people wouldn't complain about it covering my face up. I mean, let's be honest here.
He just wants to see your face.
Mr. Free's like, I can boil some egg. I can cook some eggs on that fucking forehead.
Bullet Train looks fun. I haven't seen it, but
Let's
I
see,
mean the trailers for it look good.
I'll try moving it a wee bit over.
And Brad Pitt's usually good. He's a funny guy.
Bullet Train, I have not seen anything about. I have no idea what you're talking about, and you might be making it up.
It's possible. Some movie. I mean, I've just seen like the trailers on TV for it. It looks fun. That's all I
Pong
know.
was in fact my first home game. Nice, Brian. I mean, nothing wrong with Pong. Let's be honest. Some of the
was
most
a good game.
some of the best games are the simplest. I mean, look at how well Tetris has done and still does do to this day.
Right.
I mean, that game is one of the most ridiculously selling games ever. I'm going to start a Pog NFT. A Pog NFT? Or a Pong NFT? I'm very confused now.
I don't know.
He has...
2,252 years old. I don't know.
I mean, is that why you don't know? Because you're 2,252 years old?
I've forgotten more than everyone will ever know.
He was like, I was there when the Bible was written.
I was there. I helped with the because there was like autocorrect and it was so I helped fix those.
Wait, the Bible had autocorrect?
Yeah, no, the 10 Commandments. Put out the tablets. I'm like, hey, that's spelled wrong. So yeah.
Well, it turns out that the tablets, the tablets that the 10 Commandments were on were actually iPads. The original iPads. Traveled back in time.
Originally 15 commandments, but I helped with the editing. So,
like 15 seems a bit too much.
right.
Let's just
that's
put it down to 10.
That's kind of what it was like. 15. I don't know. Help spread the Black Sea.
I really think it's the Red Sea, but
I kind of thought so too.
I'm more worried about how he put it
with Charlton Heston.
Like it's a typical way of putting it is he parted the Red Sea, but he helped spread the Black Sea.
Spread the Black Sea.
Like it was just like a big fucking tub of butter, and he's like, just spread the Black Sea all over here.
Peanut butter and Black Sea sandwich.
Yum.
It'd be PB and BS? Ooh, no. See, that wouldn't be...
Oh, that's harsh, foe. Did Wiggle go to school with Joe Biden?
Joe Biden wishes?
I mean...
that youngster? What are you talking about?
I mean, back in that day, I'm fairly certain that everybody... there was only one school when Joe Biden was at school, so, it's possible. I think Wiggle might have taught that class, though. Oh, God. Thank you for the $5 archive, but why?
Why?
It pops up in a better place now. It's here. I can touch it.
Hey, touch it on your own time. We don't need it. This is a children's show.
No, it's not. This has never been this is called Dad Plays Stuff, not
this
fucking...
is not your OnlyFans page. Don't touch it.
How dare you? I'll touch my little icon
You're gonna
all
give
I
it out
want.
for free. You're not gonna make only. I thought it was for your OnlyFans subscribers. Don't give it out for free.
I think if I had an OnlyFans, I'm almost certain that they would revolt in more ways than one. They would be revolted as they revolt. It's like, why is this man fat? Just why is he so fat?
What? I missed that one. Who?
Me.
Oh, they're asking that about you. Oh, okay.
Just why is he so fat? Why has he got a hairy belly? Is that man pregnant? No, he's just fat. He's just very fat. There's also
Why is that kilt trying to choke that man to death?
Something I heard today on Twitter, which absolutely had me doubled over, was somebody that I speak to on occasion on Twitter. She posted a post of I love drinking something iced and giving myself repeated tit freeze.
What?
Yeah, that was my reaction. I mean, the whole repeated tit freeze. I literally was doubled over, going, "What the fuck is going on?"
Was that a autocorrect situation?
No,
or what?
no. Her reaction was she
to?
drinks something so cold so quickly that it gives her like a heart attack type feeling because it's so cold, and it basically transfers into the boob. And I basically went, I don't get that. I've never gotten that. But no, I did say that I am in my old age creating some magnificent melons, so maybe I will experience that very soon. Just post beard pics. My name's not Matasbo. I don't think my beard's glorious enough to be posting pictures of it. Just like,
No,
you like that?
not.
You like that hairy face, do you? Dad wears his kilt regimental style. No, I wear my kilt in a way that it bisects me. I don't know what style that is, but it's painful.
It's a centipede style.
Human centipede style.
Oh.
Lauren, I don't look fat, but I am getting fat. Like, my middle is rather doughy. I've got a dad bod. Like, the rest of my body looks normal, but when you get to that stomach, it's just like brrrr. You guys don't get to see it. You don't see what's down below there. My man boobs don't freeze, but I also don't speed drink ice cold drinks. Well, maybe you should, Mr. Free, just to tell me how it happens. Hey, Neely, how you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. Oh, Mom, you found my kink. Wait, what?
Feet.
Oh.
Your only
I'm
feet
gonna start my OnlyFans with feet.
Only feet.
Only feet.
Only kilts.
No one wants to see my feet. Only kilts, fucking hell. I'm not making an OnlyFans. I have my dad bod in shape for fall. The shape is pear.
That's right, PT Buns. Round. Round is a shape.
No, round is a series of shapes. Like, round isn't a specific shape. It's a series of different shapes. Because, I mean, an oval's round. Circle is round.
But it's an oval.
A pear is round. Yeah, but you don't just go, it's
pear.
a round. There's no such thing as a round. Well, there is, in, like, you know, the pub. But there's not. That over there, that's a round. Like, a square, a circle, an oval, an oblong, an oblate spheroid. Butt cheeks. You know, they're all shapes.
You love me.
Thank you for the sub, Nick Welding. Welcome to the stream and or the channel. Kind of hope you didn't subscribe when I started talking about butt cheeks, but you know, that is what it is. No, he definitely subscribed to butt cheeks.
He's going to...
You guys saw it. I talked about butt cheeks and it happened.
Right.
Let's ignore the fact that the stream's a minute or two behind.
Right.
I've had 2 amputated, and that's why I'm obsessed with toes. You're gonna have to explain that, Neely. Why have you had 2 amputated? And when you say you've had them amputated, were they amputated, or were they, you know, oh, I was on the piss and I did something stupid, and therefore they got cut off? Because those are 2 very, very, very different things.
Could be there was a pair of shoes really liked, didn't fit in them, and said, okay, I'm going to have these toes amputated so I can fit in these shoes.
Could have wore Crocs and his toes were poking through the holes, and you know, elevator.
Right.
He subscribed for the man boobs. I mean, didn't we all subscribe for the man boobs? Didn't we all? No, no one did.
We came for the script your pants and stayed for the man boob.
Everyone came for the script my pants. But yeah,
no, that's not why I came.
You came for the free ammo.
Yep.
See? I remembered.
Finally.
Oh, for that, was that how it worked? It's
It was-
like, I need some of this, and you had
Here.
extra.
No,
and-
no,
yeah.
it was an ammo video that I did. That's
Oh,
what
okay.
Bubba
You know
subscribed
what? I
to.
think she told me that. It was you were just okay. I think you told me that story.
Diabetes, that explains it nearly. Diabetes
sorry
is
to hear
not a fun illness. Not a fun
Yeah.
illness.
No, it's not.
Open-toed sandals are no longer an option. I mean, I don't think that's necessarily true, depending on the sandals. I mean, if it's Jesus sandals, you can always wear them. And I mean, I'm missing a fingertip. No one saw that.
I'm missing an appendix.
From one of your books.
Exactly. I'm like,
I'll rip that page out.
Exactly. I'm just like, I don't know where all the
But,
references.
well,
come
the
from.
problem is when you say you're missing an appendix,
Yeah.
that implies you don't know where it went. It
don't.
isn't that your appendix was
actually don't know
removed.
where it went.
You
I have
you
no idea
you
where it
genuinely just like woke up one day going, "Where the fuck is my appendix?" just,
They removed it and didn't tell me where it went.
you just woke up in a bath of ice, had the doctors examine you, go, "Yeah, all your organs
And a
are intact.
scar on my-
your
and a scar on
appendix
my
is just
belly."
missing. Why would they take that?" And
Like a 1-inch scar.
some person thinks they're going to get money for an appendix.
Yep. Yeah, true story. When I was a little kid, I had an abdominal tumor, and because they were in the area, they took out the appendix.
Fucking hell,
Really?
Neely, I'm not reading that out. I thought Bubba. Oh, that's actually a point. There's a game coming out soon that Bubba will definitely love.
I swear to God.
Yeah. Is it the one from outer space?
Yes.
Okay.
Fucking-
Yeah, I don't think you should. I don't think you should go there.
I saw that today for the
so did
first
I.
time. Pissed myself
I saw it
laughing.
a while ago because I think it's based. There was an actual movie that was called that as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
So,
pissed myself
that's
laughing.
based on that. Yeah, I don't think that's somewhere you want to go.
No, I think it's somewhere Bubba doesn't want to go.
Oh, okay. It's your call. It's got nothing to. You heard me, Bubba, right? This has got nothing to do with me. I'm out.
Just wiggle, going, Bubba, don't beat me up.
No. I'm just like, nope. I warned him. I told him no.
I'm not bringing it up.
Oh, all right.
The fact
But
is,
the fact that you implied that you would.
you know the game.
No.
You know the game.
I know the title. Yes, I do. I saw that and I thought,
I like.
Yeah,
I
there's
don't.
a
I
game
don't
we
need
don't
to
wanna
bring it
talk
up
about.
because you know of it. Like I would have brought it up if
you would have brought it up sooner if I would have known.
Let's see.
Yep.
I think I've missed something in the chat.
You
Wait,
always
how long
miss
have you have you been missing a fingertip? Yeah, since I was 4. I was on literally walked onto a building site when I was 4, because parental guidance.
Wow.
And basically a concrete slab fell in my hand, broke like my entire arm, and popped off the tip of my finger like a little zit spot, whatever you want to call it. Never found it. Never ever found it. And I spent like a couple of weeks in the hospital after that. Wasn't fun. Was not fun at all. It was definitely fun. I got to play Super Mario World and eat hot dogs every day. It was great. I actually, to this day, love hospitals. Like, I don't mind going into the hospital at all. Like, a lot of love for like health professionals because of it, because I've had a genuinely positive experience with people in the NHS throughout my life. So
Plus, you get the adjustable bed that you can sit and play with.
a kid loves that. A
Yeah.
kid always
No,
loves
I mean,
that.
I did. I was in the hospital when I had my thing, and I was like a week in the hospital. So yeah, I had a lot of time with the remote control because we didn't have remote control TV at home at that time, and so yeah, remote control TV and a bed that adjusts, and yeah, it was awesome.
Hey Devilman, welcome to the stream, man. How are you getting on? How is your work day going? I have had 2 holes drilled into my skull, and they drained my brain out because it was useless.
Wow.
What? Fucking what?
Right?
Mr. Free, you had a beautiful brain, sir. I'm very confused now. I'm genuinely like
He didn't say it wasn't aesthetically pleasing. He said it just wasn't useful.
I'm just very confused. You
Yeah, I
and
don't know.
Johnny Depp are missing tip buddies. I'm fairly certain that Johnny Depp isn't actually missing a tip. He was missing a tip. It got sewed back on. Unless I'm wrong on that. Unless he's got more missing fingers than the one that happened when he was with you know who. Voldemort. That was the one.
Right.
I've spent
Right.
way too much time in the hospital. Well, that's sad to hear, Tachanka. Hopefully that doesn't continue. But, you know, quite often it will.
Beefeater's a sandwich, isn't it? Or
You-
is it a drink? Oh, it's a drink.
What's a drink?
Beefeater? Isn't that a drink?
No.
Is it a sandwich? I swear it's something.
I mean, it's a fucking...
It's a brand. That's what it is. It's a brand of
Yeah.
gin.
It's a brand. It's also the name of, like, guards. If I get the Tower of London.
Oh, okay. That
Um,
would be why they have that picture on their bottles.
mhm. And yeah. Pretty good. Sundays are laid back at Amazon's. Only one shift running. Nice. But no, there's multiple things that are Beefeaters. I'm fairly certain there's like a restaurant chain over in the UK called Beefeaters as well.
Mm.
So it's that way when people say Beefeaters, my brain doesn't immediately jump to any specific one.
It's a lot of things, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like, any time somebody says, what's a Beefeaters? I'm like, couple of things.
There's an inn in Salt Lake City called Beefeaters. Never heard of it.
Is there an out?
I'm guessing it's not in business anymore. Because the picture I found of it is from 1964.
That's,
So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So it's probably not around.
maybe you
it's a
ate
steak-
there.
Oh, and they had a steak. Oh, yeah. Steak and lobster for $4.25.
Hey, Neil Johnson, welcome to the stream, man. How are you getting on? Apparently, he thinks you're thinking of Bovril. Bovril is like it's basically like drinking really watery gravy. And no, Bubba, not that kind.
What?
I
Oh,
don't know.
come on.
No, not that kind. Regular, real gravy. Bovril's basically just meat-flavored tea. It's the best way to describe it.
Yeah, I don't think I'd want
I'm not a fan of Bovril myself,
tea.
though ironically, I would drink a mug of gravy.
Blah.
Like, if you gave me a mug of gravy, 100% would sit there drinking it.
Ugh.
Don't
Beefeater is also a brand
Ugh.
of barbecue grill in Australia.
Well, isn't everything a brand of barbecue grill in Australia?
Sure.
I mean, I'm sure they've got a barbecue grill called a Billabong, and a Bondle
Maybe.
Snatch, and a Wonkle Dink. I'm fairly certain they just make words up.
Well, all words are made up.
No.
It's not like they occur in nature or you're digging
they-
along.
oh, they
Hey,
do.
There's there's a vein of words. Let's take those
I have
out.
100% seen the word fuck in clouds. I'm
What?
like you can't tell me that words don't actually physically occur in nature. They do. It's
They
just
don't.
it's just mathematically very rare that the exact thing would
Yes, but
spell
they-
out.
but
But
it
they
was
do
made
occur.
up.
But
it
they
was
do
made up.
occur.
They
That's
do
not what you
occur.
said. That's
That's
not
not
what
what I meant. That's not what I meant.
well, I'm fucking making it mean that.
Now I'm just like caught on this thing of what else is a beefeater. I don't know.
I am not watching House of Dragon at the moment, Brian, because me and the wife are currently watching Lucifer. We didn't.
Lucifer's awesome.
Yeah, we hadn't watched through it, so we're watching through Lucifer. Then we're probably going to watch through Sandman, and then we'll probably watch through House of Dragon. But I'm like, the order of what we're going to do it in isn't set in stone. It just depends on what me and the wife decide to do at any given time.
That's horrifying, Lauren. That is a horrifying sounding show.
There was a Netflix movie called Monday. One girl had an accident with a finger, so the other I did. Oh, that is not a fun thing
no.
to happen. If you're like
Not a happy romp in the park.
every time your sister falls down the stairs and gets a new scar, it's like, well, get on the
Right.
table.
Right.
I thought
Wrap
House
your
of
sister in bubble wrap.
Dragons was boring and talky, like She-Hulk better. I've not watched either. I've
I
heard
haven't seen She-Hulk yet either.
I've heard bad things about She-Hulk, but I very much take stuff with a pinch of salt, because the amount of times I hear bad things about everything and then I watch it and go, that was actually fine. I think a lot of these things are politicized too much.
Okay.
And well, that's the whole thing about She-Hulk. It's there's like a huge crowd of people that are, in the feminist movement that are like, yeah, woo, ah. And therefore that gets a lot of backlash from people who are anti-feminist. And it doesn't necessarily mean that the show is bad. It just means it gets really shit publicity one side or the other. I mean, don't get me wrong. I could watch it and think this was a big steaming pile of shit. But until I watch it, I don't have an opinion on it. But everything I've seen about it is all politics this, politics that, feminism, woo! And then the contrary side of it is just, feminism, bleh. You can't really win. Like, there's always a negative side and a positive side to these kind of things. Let's see. My girlfriend keeps saying I need to watch The Sandman. I think The Sandman comics, a lot of my... when the comics were still coming out, I think they've been stopped a while back. People I knew at the time said it was a really good series. I didn't get into it. I didn't read any of it, so I can't really say much about it, but I've heard for years that it's a fantastic series of books. So having it come out in, some sort of filmed format has been something that has interested me, so I will need to watch that at some point. Watching Doctor Who from the start on BritBox. Nearly, when you say from the start, do you mean the recent Doctor Who's, or do you mean all of the Doctor Who's? Because that is two very different things.
That's a lot of Doctor Who's.
It is. Most of the Disney Plus Marvel stuff is meh. I didn't like Lucifer. He's too much of a whore. I mean, wouldn't you be if you could be? And get away with it? And, we're immortal and super powerful? I mean, I would be. I'd use my powers to great effect. Just like, you, do this for me. Do you want a deal? Give me your money. Though I'm married, so I wouldn't do it actually. Not the whoring part, at least. Making people do stuff for me, though, 100%. Hi, having a cup of gravy with a spoonful of mint sauce thrown in is bloody lovely, and the closest thing I can get to having a Sunday roast another Sunday. I mean, mint sauce, not so much, Philly, but I can definitely say gravy is great. Watch the show before you watch The Critical Drinker. Critical Drinker? She-Hulk, the comic, anyway, got very, very woke. I recall there was something about the She-Hulk comic a while back, and the whole point of She-Hulk in the comics was obviously it's a female version of the Hulk, but she's always more lucid. She's more feminine, she looks the way she looks, and yeah, like with most Marvel superhero women, was hypersexualized back in the day. But the whole point of She-Hulk is that she's not the Hulk, because the Hulk, big, strong, stupid as fuck. She's a lawyer. She's meant to be smart. She's meant to be charismatic. She's meant to be, flirty, all that kind of thing. And in the comics, if I recall, they basically at one point just turned her into Hulk with a fucking wig. And people went nuts because they were like, that's not She-Hulk. And I agree, it's not She-Hulk. It's Hulk with a wig. They're two completely independent characters from each other. And she's got, she's not as strong as the Hulk, but the trade-off is that she's got most of the Hulk's powers, but she's still got her brain, she's still got her intelligence. And it just made me laugh when people went off their nut at it, because I agree, it's silly to turn a character that already exists into the same character as one that already exists. Apparently Catherine is getting raided.
Yes.
They're gonna rustle her jimmies. One of you is echoing. I can hear my mic through one of you.
Not me.
You say not you, but it might be you.
No, I'm saying not me. You can't hear your mic through me.
Let's see. She-Hulk's not Shakespeare. It's not meant to be all that fancy. It's just bollocks. It's just fun. Leave your brain at the door. I most of the time agree with that, Neely. Like when it comes to a lot of different things. And I don't know who said, Nick, I haven't watched Altered Carbon. I did see it back in the day when it was new, but I haven't watched it, so I honestly don't know at all.
I'm similar, Lauren. I'm monotonous.
I don't want to sleep with everyone. I am monogamous. It's Ally McBeal with a green chick. She shags Hercules now and again. When you say Hercules, do you mean the guy who played Hercules in the TV show, or do you mean a character in it that's called Hercules? Well, the actual Hercules is in the Marvel comics, so I'm kind of like I'm trying to wonder which one it is, because if it's actual Hercules, then not as interesting. If it's the guy that played Hercules, I find that funnier.
or the Hercules from the Disney cartoon.
Same here, Lauren, and I love my piece. How has that came up multiple times in these streams?
I don't know.
It really has. Fucking Eddie Murphy.
Right.
Well, I'm talking to someone in this community, but he's far away. I like I actually watched the cartoon Hercules with my kids the other day, and it's a great movie. 100% a great movie. Great soundtrack. Disney movies typically do, though. I can't think of one that's really failed that badly for me.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
Really?
I don't think I have. I don't know. I mean, it's possible, but I don't remember it, and I don't tend to forget things. So
yes, PT Kevin Sorbo, 100%. That's who I was thinking of. The problem with Kevin Sorbo is he has posted things like he's one of those people that you typically stuff here about him. Seems a nice guy, and he's one of those people that puts pretty offensive shit up on Twitter, from what I remember. I don't recall what he did, but I'm fairly certain he put some fucking crazy shit up on Twitter, and people lost their shit on him and just tell him, shut it, Kevin Sorbo.
I think Arnold Schwarzenegger did a movie once.
He did a movie once, yeah.
Hercules in New York, I think is what it was called.
Yes.
It was he didn't speak English, and yeah, it was
he did
dubbed heavily. It was like one of the worst movies. I haven't seen it, but
it's awful.
It's like supposedly like one of the worst movies ever.
It is. It's literally awful. But yeah, he did do a Hercules movie, and it was fucking shit.
Hercules in New York, what year was it? 1970. Okay, so it was a while ago.
Mr. Free, you don't want anyone but the Queen. I think she's a bit old for you, Mr. Free. Not to mention, she is grieving. Stay away from Her Majesty.
Maybe he means the Scorchbeast Queen.
Oh, or Mirelurk Queen.
Mirelurk Queen, Queen of Hearts.
He wants some crab.
Or maybe he's got a thing for Freddie Mercury. I don't know.
Mama.
What the problem is when you say Queen in that context, that means he wants a gangbang. Because there's more than one of them.
You know, everybody's got their own thing. You know, I don't judge.
Yeah, Neely, I think that's what it was in relation to. Like he said, I don't recall exactly what he did, but I think it was something like he went after the LGBT people, and you know how they get fucking when people insult them. One of the best best names I've heard for the LGBT community from people that are in it is the Alphabet Mafia. It's so much easier to say rather. It's just like
Bat Mafia.
yeah,
Oh, wow.
that's such a great name for it. It's just like, are you part of the Alphabet Mafia? It's like, you got a G? Yes.
That's funny. I haven't heard that.
When I heard that, I was
honestly,
pissing
I don't
myself.
pay attention to much of that stuff anyway. So, like Twitter, no, like the worst things in the world happen on Twitter. So,
Problem is, I don't have any stakes in it. I have literally no one that I would consider really close to me involved with any of that kind of thing. So I don't have any personal stakes in it. So I don't pay attention to that kind of stuff on the basis that it just isn't part of my day-to-day life. If one of my sons turns out to be gay or trans or whatever later on, then I'm sure I'll become a bit more aware of what's going on with the ins and outs of that. But till that day, it's just not something that's part of my life, which consists of animals and gaming. So I really don't. It's one of those things, isn't it?
Yep. It is.
Let's see. Scientifically, fat bottom girls do make the world go round.
Yes.
When you say scientifically, explain.
Has something to do with
Gravity?
somebody.
Isn't that a song? The Fat Bottom Girl?
Yes,
thing?
it is.
It's a song, right? Well, it's hillbilly. I mean, country songs.
Do not
Makes
summer
the rock
her.
and world go round.
Hey Dale, how you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. What is crack o lacking? If you want Freddie Mercury, then you are a necrophiliac or a time traveler, Tachanka. You can't rule out time travel.
I mean, just a music lover. You could just be a really extremely devoted music lover.
You might want to break free.
Under pressure.
Whilst riding your bicycle. Bicycle. It's stuck in my head now. And yeah, Mr. Freeze saying fat bottom girls will make the world will make rocking world go round is a Queen song, which is why they brought it up.
Really, I didn't realize that.
Due to mass and inertia, they are constantly moving the world. Is that what twerking does? Is that how the world moves? It's just wiggles make the world go round. The war wiggles make the world go round.
Right.
God. What? How did we get to this line of conversation?
I don't know.
What did you do, Wiggle?
It's all about the lowest common denominator. Bicycle, bicycle.
Flash is a good song as well. Dun 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 dun.
Flash. Gordon.
That's not how it goes. It just goes Flash. He saved every one of us. Down down down. Twerking, make your man happy. I don't have a man.
No,
I'm a strong, independent YouTube streamer who don't need no man. I
don't know. I think twerking just kind of.
That's what the wife says too.
I actually honestly think twerking just kind of weird. I don't know.
I mean, are you trying to say any type of dancing isn't kind of weird?
It is. I think twerking is just. I don't get it, honestly. Like, I just don't get the.
I mean, do you prefer the running man? What about the hustle?
The hustle.
Yeah.
Do the hustle.
You know, is that more your area song? The time of disco?
No, well, no, I was a little kid then, but yeah.
Doubt.
I do like some disco songs, sure. I actually don't like the hustle though. I actually don't like that song.
The tune definitely plays in my head every so often, mainly because of Futurama.
Oh, okay.
But that's mainly like Futurama plays a big playlist in my head.
Figures prominently in your brain.
Shame they sold out to a floor cleaner company. Freddie would not be pleased. Yeah, I don't think he would have been pleased nearly. But then again, by this kind of age, he probably wouldn't have given a shit. let's be honest, is money. And at a certain point, they all sell out. Like, there's so many fucking
Right. Remember
rock stars
Windows
like that.
95? Windows 95 got the Rolling Stones to sell out.
Oh, well, the Rolling Stones have fucking sold
They
out.
sold out before then.
Aye, like they'd fucking put their face on anything.
Yeah.
Even slugs move, Derek, and leave slime trails to be followed. What?
Okay. I don't know.
Fucking what? Marvel and DC weren't even born when Flash Gordon first came out. Just for no. And to be fair, Mr. Free, we've been over this. That song gets played every day in my house on the TV because it's a fucking kids show. So that's like that barely registers in my head anymore. Like literally, it's just so silly. So we'll move on to the next bit of news. Just make sure it's working. So this is just an article I found. 6 games that caught our attention at Gamescom. I don't know if you guys were keeping up with what was going on at Gamescom. I certainly wasn't because I am very lazy. But we've got a couple of games here. So Phil Savage and Molly Taylor, but the Gamescom previews of the Callisto Protocol, Homeworld Free, and Jagged Alliance Free are some of the games they're interested in. I'm trying to think if we can get... Yeah. So what we're going to do is, once these freaking ads go down, I will bring up the full screen of whatever game is under here. This is apparently a new real-time strategy game from the CNC Remastered studio, which means it's an EA game. But if they can make a good RTS like old-style Command and Conquer games, I will be very, very happy.
I don't follow those things typically just because I guess I get fatigue from seeing some cool game and finding out it's going to come out sometime in the distant future. You know, it's like, okay, I've seen enough of those. There's like a lot of games that are it's like, give me something now.
But yeah, I can sort of understand that. I like games that are coming out in the future and things like that. Like
right.
I
just
like
feel I'm
something to
waiting
look
for all
forward to.
kinds of stuff right now, and there's like, not, tired of waiting. Damn it, give me something now. Oh, what? Okay.
And the thing is, it says from the former developers of Command and Conquer. That makes me feel like it's Westwood Studios, but I know they don't exist anymore. Like, honestly, if you go back to the old school people who made the original Command and Conquers, if you could get all them together again to make a game, I would be so happy. Like, genuinely so happy. The Command and Conquer games were my childhood. That and JRPGs. See, there you go, being all standoffish again. What the hell? What's happening in the chat? Anybody tried Killing Floor 2? It's like COD Zombies or Left 4 Dead. Good fun. I mean, I haven't, but I've seen it. This actually does look pretty good. It looks like an RTS set in World War One.
Odd zombies. Oh, when they get you with their flippers, that's the worst.
This actually genuinely, for fuck's sake, Wiggle.
What? I mean, come on. They come at you and they're all flopping around. They get you.
Right, that's that one down. So we'll
zombies.
scroll down to the next one, which is Bulwark Falconeer Chronicles.
This one looks cool. The Great War or whatever. Eastern. Is that Western Front? Your face is covering part of that. So.
Yeah, it's the Great War Western Front. It does look really cool. I actually am quite interested in that.
Nifty.
This seems to be another type of like puzzly RTS type builder game. It looks kind of cool, but at the same time,
Pinocchio, but it's Bloodborne. Oh wait, what's that? Okay, that's what I want. I wanted to see that one. Ooh, well, you're not gonna play this game. It's underwater, or is that not under? Oh,
no, it's not a wonder. It looks like there's water, but it looks like another RTS game, but
yeah.
you build on like land.
Initially it looked like it was an underwater thing. Okay, so you're just okay. I've never played a game like that. It doesn't register with me really. Like I look at it and go, it looks cool, but
I like RTSs. I've always been a big fan of them, but finding good ones is Pinocchio, but it's Bloodborne. Okay.
Yeah, let's go for that.
Right, this one's going to be good, I'm expecting. In honor of the great writer Carlo Collodi. Why is that not? Alright, it's just
Well, this
low
yeah, this
quality
artistic
video.
thing, that does look pretty neat, though. I mean, it's bulwark. Yeah, that looks pretty.
It looks funky.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, visually, it's very appealing.
So that this game already looks right up my alley.
All right, here we go.
Hmm.
Something of the great writer. Oh, from something.
Robot arms. So it's got steampunk elements. And apparently your granny. I'm assuming it's your granny. She's dying.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So we got like flamey thing and sub. Like a bosom shot of Granny, or
Don't-
whoever.
don't-
Oh, that's Granny.
Eee.
That's Granny.
Don't
Okay,
you
here we
want
go.
a bosom shot of granny? Isn't that what you always wanted?
Depends on the Granny, I guess.
This is actually looking really, really cool. It look
Wow, but this isn't gameplay footage, right? This is just cinematics
No,
so far.
well, at the point I'm at, it's gameplay footage, and it looks fucking brilliant.
Okay. It kind of has this feel of just when I'm looking at it, kind of reminds me of BioShock just a little bit in terms of just some of the just kind of the atmosphere and the scenery. Not necessarily the game, but I guess that's yeah. Okay, maybe not. Maybe not.
It
Oh,
looks
this-
really
okay, the
nice.
game-
Looks
Yeah.
like
Oh, wow.
Warcraft 1 type of artistic direction, and back it was fine,
Okay.
but it looks weird now. I mean, I know there are loads of RTSs, Mr. Free, but it's one of those things where they are higher skill capped than they used to be. But yeah, no, I still play them on occasion. This game, like honestly, this game looks really good. It looks really funky.
It does look good. What is it though? Is it like a
It'll come up with a name of it.
RPG or?
It looks to me like it's like. Have you played the Dark Souls games? Because I don't know if you have or not.
No, I haven't, but I'm familiar with like I know.
It looks
yeah,
like it's a
I've played
bit.
them.
It's Soulsborne slash
Oh, all right.
slash like near Automata, Devil May Cry.
Devil May Cry. Okay, yeah, I played that I played Devil May Cry once, a long time ago. Okay.
I can sort of understand the BioShock vibe with the kind of
Right.
steampunky elements.
Because I'm
But,
kind of getting that vibe in parts. I'm kind of getting that vibe a little bit, but
Lies of P.
especially when you're fighting those big machines.
That is definitely one for my list. That looks really
That
cool.
looks interesting. Are we getting a 20? Okay. Are we getting a 2023 or 2024?
2023.
Dot lies of a mission or
So-
lies of P, I guess.
Tales
Lies
of well, Eliza P. Yeah, Eliza P. The next one is the new Tales of Borderlands game. If you don't know what Tales of is, it's basically a story-driven game. There's no action in it typically, and you basically speak to people, do kind of things. It's basically like a visual novel essentially that you can interact with.
Oh,
Um, So that's the tale. There's loads of
Choose
different
your own
Tales
adventure.
games. Kinda. There's loads of them. There's like The Wolf Among Us, and a bunch of other different games. There is a previous one of this. But yeah.
These have a lot of replay. I mean, can you get like really different?
Yeah. There's
So it does have replayability kind of thing.
Oh yeah, 100%. They all have quite a lot of replayability. Hey Hanser, how are you getting on? Welcome to the stream. And there's also there's loads of different Tales of games, done by the studio that does it anyway. But it's not just this. You get ones for Batman. There's loads of different ones, and they're pretty cool. I've never been that into them, but I like the idea of them. It is kind of like
To me,
a
this seems
book.
like it'd be the perfect and I don't know if it goes on that platform, but to me, it seems like that would be a really good for mobile, right? Like you're just sitting there waiting, like at an airport or something, and it's like
probably.
right? You just put in your headphones and I'm playing a game, but it's really just a story, telling me a story or whatever.
Oh yeah, probably. What is this one? Case of the Golden Idol. Boop. So this looks like a indie little game.
So do the Tales do they just like license the properties from people and then do a Tales of whatever the game is. Is that the idea?
Typically.
Yeah.
Oh, so this looks like a kind of, what's the word? Like a retro version of. Did you ever play Broken Sword? Or like, I'm trying to think of Monkey Island, those type of games.
I actually might have played a little Monkey Island because it does sound familiar, but not enough that I remember it.
So it looks like it's a kind of version of one of those games.
We got an 8-bit something.
Yeah, it's like a very old I'm trying to think of what the name of the original kind of one. It was like King's Field or King's something. That's the one that's popping into my head. It looks like that. Very kind of old style game. It does look interesting. Not my cup of tea, but definitely something there. And apparently, this is the last one. Where Winds Meet is this next one. Hopefully it's something cool. The graphics look pretty good in it already, so it's probably a AAA game as well. Though I think this is cinematics, so... Looks like it's set in Japan.
Where Winds Meet World.
She's either dying or she's drunk. You guess which.
All I see is a candle and feet.
Oh, you're looking at Bubba's OnlyFans.
Damn it, I didn't send him the link yet. How'd you find it?
Just Googled.
I'd love to see a steampunk World War I flight simulator where you can choose and customize your aircraft.
Steampunk World War. Wow,
that'd be pretty cool. When is
very specific?
Oh yeah. When is Nightcrawler going to get a game he deserves? Oh yeah, I think Nightcrawler is one of those underrated characters. At least outside the people that know the comics, and Nightcrawler would be a pretty cool hero to follow, especially if you can teleport.
Right. And
that'd be an interesting mechanic to include. So the gameplay of this so far looks pretty fucking...
I'm still on the cinematic.
The actual in-game stuff looks relatively interesting. It is your typical adventure stuff. You can fucking run on water. It's a Japanese Jesus simulator.
Nice. Okay, this looks like gameplay.
It actually looks quite good.
Was he walking on treetops or a wire? Or I couldn't tell.
I think it's your traditional ninja trope.
Is this like an Assassin's Creed kind of thing?
What it looks like to me is they have tried to capitalize on what Sekiro did. That's another like Dark Souls-y type game. So it looks like a kind of Sekiro. Either that or it's maybe Ghost of Tsukushima, but I've not seen much of Ghost of Tsukushima because I can't play it, so I didn't bother looking it up. So it could be maybe a bit of both, but definitely getting Sekiro vibes from it.
All right.
Yeah, 100% getting Dark Souls, Sekiro style vibes.
Sure.
Ninja Gaiden, that's another one. Yeah, very true, Neely. Ninja Gaiden. This is Where Winds Meet, Tachanka. It does look really cool. I've not looked much into Redfall, Neely. I probably should, but I haven't. But no, this does look interesting.
Elden Ring.
Well, that's why I'm saying Sekiro, because Sekiro's basically Dark Souls / Elden Ring, but set in feudal Japan. So it's got that vibe for me as well.
You played Elden Ring, right?
Yes, I did.
Where's your Elden Ring stuff?
It literally should be there somewhere.
Oh no, I mean, where's the continuing? Why aren't you still doing Elden Ring?
Well, I completed the game.
It has an end. Oh, okay, so it's not a big old ongoing forever
No,
kinda
no,
thing?
it's not like an MMO or anything like that. I mean, I could,
Okay.
in theory, play PvP and just continually do like speed runs and
Oh, is
you
that
know,
all it
like
is? Like, because it's online, right? But it's just PvP if you do online. Is that all?
essentially the way that Elden Ring and Dark
Oh,
Souls PvP works is you have an item
all
that
right.
can either invade or summon people into your world. If you invade people's worlds, you show up and then you go and find them and murder them for stuff. That's
Oh,
the kind of concept of it. So the kind of thing that makes it difficult is obviously the world is overly harsh and the enemies are brutal. It makes it hard because you're in the middle of fighting somebody and then all of a sudden some dick comes into your world and then helps the enemies to try and eat your face.
oh, jeez.
There's a lot of broken builds. The problem is with Elden Ring is that the PvP is very, very broken. It's not as tailored and nuanced as the older, like Dark Souls 3. So a lot of people don't like the PvP for it. And now that Dark Souls 3's servers have finally went back online after being down for like 6 months, people are immediately swapped back to Dark Souls 3 for PvP. So
Okay.
I'm fairly certain Elden Ring's getting a massive hit towards the number of people that are actually PvPing in it because the PvP is
Gotcha.
widely seen as not as good, and it's because the mechanics they've added the extra mechanics like in Dark Souls games you can't jump. So well you can, but it's not really jumping. It's more like lunging forward at speed.
Okay.
So in Elden Ring, you can fully jump. So it adds a different dynamic to the PvP and things like that. But it makes some things broken, some things not broken. And overall, the game is just seen to be not as polished and balanced as its predecessor, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Tay, how are you getting on? Welcome to the stream. What is up? How are you getting on this evening?
She's alive.
Was she meant to be dead?
I don't know.
Did you put out a
I
hit
don't
wiggle?
know.
Hi, QT pies. I'm no pie. No, actually, I tell a lie. I'm a fat pie.
Because you ate all the pie.
The burger and the fries.
Hi.
What kind of pie was it?
You know what pie? Meat filled.
I could go for some pie.
Onimusha was a dog's bollocks. Played all of them. I don't think I played Onimusha. Looks very Tomb Raider-ish. I like it. I mean, Tomb Raider, it kinda does, but kinda doesn't. Though I've not played the new Tomb Raider, so I can't really make any comment on them. But that is
City
what it is.
Skylines. I don't know that one.
City Skylines, is that not the one that's basically SimCity? Am I misremembering? I'm sure
don't
that's basically SimCity. Well, you're several pies, DPS. How dare you? Oh, Dead Island 2. Yeah, once again, I will be playing that. Because the original Dead Island I thought was fucking brilliant game. But I didn't have people to play it with, so that was a real issue with it. But if I can get people to play Dead Island 2 with me, I definitely will play it.
Among Us. Among Us.
Among Us. But
Among Us.
the problem with Among Us is we need you guys to gather. I mean, literally, if 10 people in this chat said we want to play Among Us, if we got everybody in chat to come to play Among Us, we could play Among Us. But we need people to physically be on the Discord server so we can arrange people to come play Among Us. It's out of my hands until we get enough people to actually consistently play it. Because if we go to the Discord server at the moment, and I go to the Among Us chat, we have a grand total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people in that chat. Which means there are 11 people that are labelled on the Discord that they want to be able to play Among Us with us. So that basically means if 3 people can't make it, nobody gets to play.
Damn it, those people. I'm going to find them.
So,
Those 3 people.
yeah. But Hanser, you don't necessarily need to have a mic. You can still type into the game. However, It just requires, like, if they go, well, let's look at the screen to see hands are pretending not to be guilty. But yeah, if we can get like 10 people to play Among Us and a couple of them don't have a mic, it's not a huge issue. It's just a case of we have to be a little bit more understanding that those people have to take a bit more time to type. However, if you don't type anything, well then into the airlock you go.
It's cross-platform, right?
Yes, you can play it on anything. Like Among Us, you can play it. You could literally play it on your fucking phone and play it
There you go.
with people on the PC. So nobody's got the excuse that they can't play it because we're on different formats, because it has no format. It is literally everything.
There you go.
I look so crisp. I don't feel crisp. I feel sweaty. Dead Island Retro is a fun side-scrolling game. I didn't even know there was a Dead Island Retro. Genuinely didn't know. Sounds horrible. Have you ever thought of playing 7 Days to Die? I haven't, Kira. Mainly because I don't like the look of it. It looks a bit like Zombie? Zombie? Whatever that game's called in the Wii U. You know the one. It looks like that, and I did not enjoy that game one bit. And I typically love zombie games, but that one just made me go, nah, I'll pass. Side scrollers should have stayed in the 90s. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that, Mr. Free. Me and Bubba had quite a lot of fun with the new Turtles game when it came out. Bubba's went quiet
It would have been better if I'd had a controller.
Yeah, watching you trying to jump and fail constantly was a bit stressful.
It's how I always play, though.
I now have Among Us role in the Discord. Excellent, Tay. Excellent. Yay, Graham's Meat Cook is up again. I mean, Blue Eagle. Of course it is. It's on the hour.
Right.
I'm more concerned that you're going. You're going to Graham's Meat Cook.
About going.
No, he had like 3 dots. That definitely is not excitement. It's like Double Dragon with zombies. Isn't Double Dragon just like Double Dragon with zombies? Dead Island Retro was made with the release for the newer consoles. Okay. I got in a pack with the first 2 games. You don't need a controller for anything. Only usable use of the controllers to throw out the window. I don't think that's necessarily true. There's plenty of games that are better with controllers. I mean, I personally find the Dark Souls games are easier to play with a controller than they are with the mouse and keyboard. But that might just be me. I would much prefer to play them with controller. Because I mean, I did the Elden Ring entirely with controller. I would not do that with a PC setup with a mouse and keyboard. I think it'd be a wee bit weird. I mean, I don't know about you. How would you play it, Wiggle?
I play everything on controller, so there's your answer.
Oh, yeah, I think that's why I kind of asked you, because I knew you did.
Yeah, I'm a controller boy.
And
I grew up with a controller, so.
And Bubba, did you say that you played Elden Ring on controller as well there?
No, with my mouse and keyboard.
And how far did you get?
I ran around a lot.
That
was very pretty.
That is not the question I asked.
I got very far.
In which game? Which game do we play?
Elden Ring.
Oh, that's supposed to be like a hardcore. That's a hard game though, right? Because those Dark Souls people, they make hard games.
It is a difficult game, and most people give up pretty early, which is kind of the point I'm trying to illustrate here. But Bubba's not agreeing to tell me where she got to.
I personally didn't get very far at all. but I
But
had a friend
emotionally.
that-
Well, you know I fucking completed the game, so...
I know you did.
Sad face. Apparently
Although
you're...
I am hearing, by the way, I am hearing a little bit of static when you're talking, just the tiniest bit.
I think I know why you're hearing a bit of static. I'm fairly certain Bubba's mic got some harsh treatment recently. And that could be in relation to that.
Probably.
Might be.
Not a single game is better with a controller. Hard disagree, Mr. Free. Hard disagree.
He's just being a troll.
I don't have a bunch of games on my PC that fits controllers. I mean, a lot of people tend not to. I'm horrible on my mouse and keyboard, and my fingers do not understand it. But the thing is, username, when I was on, like, when I played Xbox and PlayStation, yeah, I 100% agree. Trying to move to controller, mouse and keyboard was one of the most awkward transitions. Because you it's muscle memory, and everything your brain is telling you to grip onto things for dear life, and you can't play your with your keyboard using like that. It's like holding it up. It doesn't work. It's very unwieldy. I've tried, and yeah, it's just a very strange kind of thing to transition into. Hey, Clowny, welcome to the stream. How are you getting on?
See,
What
Tay
is
gets
crack-a-lackin'?
it. I mean, for some people, it's the tactile. Like, part of me for playing games, I actually like the feel of a controller. So I personally never tried keyboard and mouse, not because I don't think I could get used to it. I just like the feel of the controller. I mean, especially if you grew up with controllers that were horrible. Like, the controllers now feel so good; they're so ergonomic, and yeah, I mean, it's the same reason. Like, I mean, if you go with like something like poker, I don't play poker online, but I would play it in person because I like the feel of cards and feel of chips and things. So it's a tactile thing for me. That's why I go with controller over keyboard. I mean, I know keyboard and mouse, you have much better control in most games, but for me, it's what feels better.
Yeah, I can understand that about a lot of people, because when I have used different controllers, like the PS3 controller for me was so light, and the PS4 controller as well. It's so light, so flimsy feeling. I much prefer like an Xbox controller to it, because it feels, it's got a little bit of weight to it, it's got a little bit of heft to it, and it just feels better in your hands. Whereas the PlayStation controller feels like I could accidentally lob it out a window. Never have, but it feels like I could.
Right.
And then when you think back in the old days, can you remember when you were using like joysticks instead of controllers?
Oh yeah, I grew up with a joystick.
And they, in comparison to what we had prior to controllers, fucking hell, controllers are so convenient, because joysticks were not convenient. Once you got used to them,
they weren't ergonomic. I remember playing games, and I would actually have to stop playing because I got like these massive blisters like on the inside of my thumb from just like pushing the controller back and forth, and they would just like, I can't play anymore, So,
I mean, the one thing that joysticks kind of are superior at is like your fighting games.
Like side to side games, kind of things like Space Invaders, stuff like that.
Arcade games, but like your fighting games, it's typically a widely known thing that joysticks, like people get like a proper joystick like pad, like you would get in an arcade kind of thing, and you use them for fighting games because you can get more accurate inputs with it. So I can understand to an extent with that, where you're using like a whole hand to move the joystick is a lot more accurate than your single, but they still wouldn't use like mouse and keyboard in comparison, because they can still get more accurate inputs from a joystick. So it depends on the game. There's loads of different ways to play loads of different games, and keyboard and mouse isn't always the way. It honestly isn't. There's lots of games out there that it's just the way you play them and the way they're designed. And design of the game is quite often, because like the Dark Souls games were never designed to be played on mouse and keyboard, which makes them super awkward to play on mouse and keyboard. Whereas like Fallout, FPSs, they are designed to work on mouse and keyboard. They are designed to have that motion of movement, and you do get that kind of thing. So yeah, it depends on the game. I think it very much depends on the game. Some games are better with mouse and keyboard. 100% FPSs. You have far more accuracy, far more specific control over what you do. But when you're using a controller, quite typically they also have auto aim, so that kind of makes up from the lack accuracy. And it's funny. I always see people complaining that console players get auto aim. It's like, yeah, but they can't fucking hit the shots you can just by moving your hands. Like you are actually nerfing yourself by playing on controller with FPS. But that's not to say you're still good. Like skill comes into it. If you are far more skillful with controller than you are with a mouse and keyboard, then you're better off playing on the controller. Because if you're shit with the mouse and keyboard, it doesn't matter what you do.
Well, and I don't. Oh, go ahead. Gotta welcome the.
Thank you to Blue Eagle Productions for joining the Dad's Army. Welcome, welcome. Gives you lots of wee doodads that you can do in the chat. And to welcome you to the Dad's Army, everybody drop some BTBs in the chat that can, please. You know who you are.
So, as far as auto aim, I don't know. Like I wouldn't be jealous of auto aim if I was someone who had mouse and keyboard. Yeah, because 76 has auto aim. I mean, they added that in for controller people, but I've had it disabled since it came out. I've never even, I tried it once and went. And honestly, I tried it once and couldn't tell the difference and went, yeah, no, I've just turned it off.
Yeah, auto aim is something I used to turn off in Battlefield all the time because it used to fuck up my aim. Because I'd be like aiming towards, because the problem with auto aim, sometimes it would disregard who was in front of you and aim for somebody
does that too.
beside them. So it'd be like you'd go to aim at a guy who was about to kill you, and then it would target the guy right next to him. So it would just drift your input just that tiny bit, and you're like, fuck.
Just a tiny bit, okay.
And then you'd die. So it would literally, it's a big pain in the arse. I hate auto aim. I honestly found it more of a disadvantage than an advantage to me. But yeah, it is what it is.
I think it's more fun to not have the game just do everything. I mean, like I actually kind of thought it was funny when the 76 added the auto aim. Like you have VATS already, and now you're putting an auto aim. It's just like, why not just have an auto mode where you just log in and it plays for you?
Thanks for popping in, Neely. We'll catch you next time. And to answer your question, Philly, the new boss, yes, looks 100% like a giant armored mole rat. It looks like it's going to be going like down and then popping out, or it's going to be like having half of its body in the ground in something. I don't know if it's going to be stationary. I don't know if it's going to be like attached to a fucking minecart. I don't know if it's going to be popping out of the ground. I would prefer that creature to the queen because, yeah, at least you know when it's out and able to be getting shot. Anybody can hit it, opposed to the queen.
My prediction about the new boss, right? Since apparently it is a giant mole rat. That's kind of been the rumor for a while. That's what it looks like, right? So that one of its moves will be to burrow, which would make perfect sense. And what's going to happen is we'll be at an event, it'll burrow, and we'll be standing there going, how come it's not coming back up?
Yeah, no, 100%. I know that as well.
The event failed because the mole rat king went underground and never came back. Guarantee that's going to happen.
Yep, it's definitely not going to pop up for several people,
right?
And we are going to get annoyed at it. But at the same time,
I like the idea of it though. Like if it actually has that mechanic, I think that'd be awesome. That'd be different than that's what I want. Is something different, and that would definitely be different. So,
Devil, the new boss will be coming with Nuka World on tour, which is apparently coming at the end of this year. But I do use the word apparently very, very, very loosely because we don't know. Think of the amount of times things get delayed, things get put back. It looks like it's on schedule. So far, it does look like we're going to be getting it. But things can change very quickly. Until it is in-game, we don't know when it's actually coming. It's the same with...
Your name is correct. That is already one of Earl's powers, is to burrow.
No. Errol's power isn't to burrow. Errol basically becomes intangible and sinks into the floor. Whereas a mole rat will only ever go into the floor and come up. Errol can go intangible and fly through the ceiling. I mean, he can decide that his people needs him and he can just disappear into the sky. This mole rat, in theory, can only, go up and down out of the ground. In theory.
Right.
I mean, we don't know what we're going to see. He doesn't have a texture for, legs on the bottom half of him. So, if that thing comes out of the ground and starts, fucking T-posing and coming at you like some sort of mole rat Jesus, I will be very terrified. Guess I might as well change my...
That's not true, Mr. 3. You have carry weight builds.
Carry weight food builds for the win.
You have just carry weight builds that carry weapons and shoot things.
Auto aim or aim assist. In a competitive FPS game, I feel like controller users need aim assist to be competitive. Just sometimes it's overpowered. Nano, as far as what I mean is aim assist for definite. I do agree that for controller users versus keyboard and mouse users in a competitive FPS type thing, if you are good at the game and you've got if you've got two people of equal skill, one playing with controller, one playing with mouse and keyboard, the mouse and keyboard person is going to win every single time. 100%. If you literally clone somebody and had them play against each other and they were, as good as each other, then the one with the mouse and keyboard will win because it is the far more accurate format to be using it. But I always found it hindered me when I was playing FPSs because it would literally just be that slight thing where it would pull my aim away. And I used to, on console, I used to be a sniper in Battlefield. I was hitting people at 1,000-meter headshots and things like that. I didn't need aim assist to fucking land my shots. So yeah, it literally depends on the person and the people playing. If I had to guess, I could probably see it defy space and time and just disappear randomly. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if any creature in Fallout 76 defied space time and just showed up in a completely different game. I mean, what will happen in Fallout 76 is the Ultrasite Abomination will go into the ground, never come up again, and you'll be playing Fallout 5 and it'll pop up with the same HP bar and kill you. That's what I see happening. Where the fuck did this come from? It's not even meant to be in this game. It found you. It found you and it will. A thumb is no match for a hand, arm, and mouse. Oh yeah, I agree, Nano. It really isn't. The controller versus keyboard and mouse thing, it's a done deal. It is definitely a better format in FPSs. Just not in every game. It's just not every game that keyboard and mouse are superior because there's games that just aren't designed for it and don't work in the same way. But it literally depends on things like that. I used to be a Twitch shooter. I just got so lazy with VATS and forgot how to aim. Yeah. I think that's my big problem with Fallout is my aim has dwindled quite a bit since I started playing it. I mean, when I played BioShock 2, I used to headshot all the enemies and fucking just go through blah blah blah, just murdering everything one by one with absolutely no effort with that fucking rivet gun. Favorite gun in that game. Burning rivets. Delicious. I am an amazing sniper on console with controller. I was Tachanka, probably not now. It's been years since I played FPS with a controller at this point. I can kill everything while carrying the entire wasteland with me. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, Atlas shrugged at one point, and then where did that leave everyone? Well, Wiggle, you tell me. I think Wiggle's dead.
No, I'm here.
Are you, though?
It's hard to get a word in with Bubba just constantly just hogging all the talk.
Yeah.
I mean, once she gets going, she just doesn't stop.
Oh, yeah, Bubba does like to talk.
I mean, yeah.
I still think they should make expeditions more like classic MMO dungeons, but hopefully the pit will last a while fun-wise.
Everyone thinks that.
We all agree with that, Eagle. We all agree with that. The problem...
Bubba's muted.
She is muted. I'm assuming she's away making dinner for the little ones.
Oh, right, okay.
It's typically this time every time when I'm streaming. Yeah, we all agree with that, Eagle. The problem is they don't want to. They don't want to. And I think there's an element of they're trying something different. They're trying something that they've got a system in place, expeditions existing as a thing, and then they're going to add stuff to expeditions. They kind of wanted to do that with daily ops, but I think they learned quite quickly that it doesn't quite do what they wanted it to do. So I think that's what they're trying to do with expeditions. They're trying to add new stuff without having to add new stuff and have like a whole new map expansion. But I think
where they can just push a button and roll out new content, repeatable stuff.
I think the real problem, well, I know the real problem is to do with how the servers work and how 76 as a game exists. It's all patchwork. It's all like a fucking Frankenstein monster that's been stitched together using different parts that don't necessarily work together. So they kind of have to do these things in the way that they're doing them because the game just won't support big map expansions. At least they haven't figured out how to do it. I think that's the real issue, is that they probably would love to do big new map expansions, but the game won't fucking work. And I think that's the real crux of it. So they're kind of having to add shit in. I think the big thing with Fallout 76, there's a lot of empty space on the map. They can add shit into those spaces. Bigger places in the map you never go to because there's nothing to do there. Put shit there. Add shit there. Add dungeons.
Open up some locations, like locations that are boarded up.
Yeah.
Open them up.
The dungeon thing I think is a good idea. Actually having real dungeons in the game would be something pretty cool.
That'd
but
great.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. That would bring people in.
Hey Animal, how you getting on, man? Monster is just understood. Beautiful experiment that might murder you for yums. Do you mean the drink? Or do you mean the ultrasite abomination? Because, I mean, it's a giant mole rat. I think it's already been labelled as the king of douchebags. Think of the amount of people have went, where the fuck did that mole rat go? That's where it might have went. Don't go getting your hopes up with a pet. That way you won't. Oh, Philly. Those,
hopes up over nothing with
my hopes have not been up for over a year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not expecting anything, really. Thanks for popping in, Hans. I'll catch you next time.
Don't remember the last time I was actually hopeful with anything in this game, honestly, because it's just they just always they over promise and under deliver just over and over, and so it's just you basically just get kind of a realistic view of things. It's like, yeah, it'll probably will be okay. Nothing's going to be great, and and it's probably going to be something's going to be broken when it comes out. And you just kind of go, you just accept it. It's like one of these, it's like an abusive relationship. Just like, I'm gonna go home. Things are gonna be shitty, but well, I think it's too difficult to move on.
At this point, we can describe what we've got as Stockholm syndrome.
Right? Yeah.
We're being held hostage, and we don't really know what to do.
We like the idea of what the game could be rather than the reality of what the game is.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem with Fallout 76 is the limitations of the actual engine versus the servers versus just they weren't prepared to create an MMO, and they didn't.
No, it's built on a creaky foundation, and now they're trying to add in way more than it can support, and doing it in kind of weird ways. And I don't know.
Yeah, it is that kind of way where the game is not physically functional in the way it needs to be for it to be a proper online game. And as a result, we're never going to get something that is going to work the way we need it to. So, yeah, it is what it is. And all it really requires is, a better game to come out. And there are a couple of things that I'm looking at and waiting on and thinking about that might be long-term good games to go into. But at this kind of point in time, I'm just trying to make more and more content outside of 76. Because these weekend streams, we're getting quite a lot of people coming along. I say quite a lot. I mean, I'm not like fucking those crazy streamers on Twitch that have 5,000 people watching. For me, this is a decent amount of people watching and just listening to me chat a load of shit. You're not seeing any gameplay. You're just having us chat and me interact with you guys. So I am trying to move away from that in a sense to try and get more content that you guys enjoy, but in a different field. And it's just as simple as that. Let's just check. I saw people in the chat. Hey, Anon, welcome to the stream, man. How are you getting on? And this is why I like New Vegas. The map is massive. Just activate no clip. Explode outside boundaries. See, it's bigger than 76, and models used it. Yeah, I think the biggest problem that was always a case with this game is the DLCs in like the older games. The mods in the older games made a lot of extra content and a lot of extra playtime, things you could do. You could go for the game multiple times and get different results. In 76, there is only one result for everything you do in reality. I mean, the only real significant choice you can make in the game, as far as I'm aware of, is picking the Foundation or the Raiders, and then who leads the Brotherhood. But it doesn't affect anything. It doesn't actually physically affect anything in game.
No.
You know, there's like it can.
It
physically can't because it's online.
There actually is one thing that you can do that has an effect, the choice that you make. So but it's small and most people will never even notice, because why would you? When you're doing the Wayward quest line, depending on how you do that, right, on the choices you make in terms of with free radicals, depending on the choice you make there, like when you go back to the lumber company, like during the game, they may be hostile to you, they may not be hostile. That's the only part of that I am aware of where factions will actually act that much different to you based on choices you make. Other than that, none of the major stuff. I mean, that's so minor, and and there's no reason to go. There's no reason to go to the lumber place, right? Like, there's no reason to go there.
No, that's a dead area.
So you wouldn't even know that it makes a difference. But yeah, that's the only thing. Everything else, like the major stuff in the game, your choices, like you can say no, I'm not going to do that or whatever. But then the quest is just done. Like you can't continue the quest until you do the thing, and then you get the same ending. So yeah, it's
Paradox. Welcome to the stream. How are you getting on? Let's just double check the chat, just because I know a couple of people were asking thing. Yeah, but the building she's in before I'm just skimming
through. Is that what you thought I was going to say, Mr. 3? Is that what you thought I was going to say?
Do I like... Hey, Ham, welcome to the stream as well. Just noticed you there. Hi, do you like Brotherhood of Steel or Enclave? Enclave out all the way. Brotherhood of Steel are fucking boring. At least the Brotherhood of Steel in this game. The Enclave is just a bit more... Well, Enclave in 76 is a lot more interesting than the Brotherhood of Steel. I like Modus. I really do. My brain... Man, it makes up stories that never took place. I'm very confused by that, Derek. Why is your brain making shit up that didn't take place? Just try. I'm sure I saw something, but that somebody said, and I was just trying to look at it. I'm sure I saw somebody asking. It was Devilman. So, what would be your next game to get into? Well, there's a couple of things I'm looking into. There is one that is that was brought to my attention today. That's actually a Dune MMO.
Oh, that's one of the ones that's upcoming that Bubba brought up, right?
Yeah, that's one of the ones that Bubba brought up. There is a couple of other things, but I kind of don't want to go into them at the moment because I don't know how they're going to pan out. I don't even know if they're going to ever get made. Because
there's nothing that's out now that you're thinking of. It's like future.
I mean, the stuff that I'm thinking about now is games that exist. We've got things like Among Us is obviously stuff I want to make content on. We've got games like Rust. There's also the Borderlands games. I could definitely make videos on that or streams on that. I literally
didn't like Borderlands.
I don't like playing it on my own.
Oh, got you. All right,
There's sense. Valheim. I mean, that's a game that has a lot of stuff to do in it. I've got all the Resident Evil games to play. I mean, if I were to play through my backlog, I could make videos for fucking ever. Not necessarily things that people want to play or want to watch, but I, in theory, could just play games forever based on my backlog. And it goes up every month. Literally goes up every month. So yeah, Yay, I love the USA. Oh, right. Enclave. Gotcha. 100%. You want visual buffs, Paradox. Weapon buffs, rather. I don't know why I said visual buffs. We all want weapon buffs to some extent. Certain weapons are just so underpowered. Certain weapons are just ridiculous. Are you going to do vids on Starfield when it drops? Love Borderlands, but the last one was horrible. Which one do you mean? Do you mean Tiny Tina's or do you mean Borderlands 3? Because technically the latest Borderlands is Tiny Tina's, and that's apparently well received. I could be wrong on that. Play Who's Your Daddy? I mean, that's, I think, for Bubba's Only fans, is it not?
Probably.
Who's your daddy and watch my toes?
Watch or wash?
Hey, you know what? Either way, they both work.
Wash my toes.
Wash my toes.
Shepherd's pie. See, I've heard.
What making for dinner?
I've heard Tiny Tina's has been well received, but I mean, I haven't played it, so I can't say. That's definitely not doing what I wanted it to do. That freaking light's been a pain in the arse.
I've watched people play it. Does that count?
Yeah, bugger it. The light can go that way instead of annoying my screens. Yeah, that's working. But yeah, no, there's plenty of games I'd want to play, but not necessarily enough time to play everything. But no, I definitely heard Tiny Tina's was doing well, but I could be wrong. I don't like shepherd's pie or cottage pie. I'm not a fan of cottage pie. I'll definitely say that. The Raiders have Foundation as rivals, so Brotherhood needs a counter-faction. Not the Enclave modus, doesn't give that much of a damn about them. They need the Brotherhood Outcast led by Ramani. I mean, Brotherhood Outcasts would be an interesting faction, but at the same time, I don't necessarily think that's the right one to bring in. They are already technically fighting the Enclave, because it is Modus doing a kind of Dr. Claw, Inspector Gadget type shit in Daily Ops against them. He's constantly going, ha 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 ha, I'll make them go do this weird shit here. But yeah, no, I'm doing okay and on. Life finds a way. No one plays it anymore. I watch Killer 6 and he agrees.
Plays what?
Oh, Tiny Tina's. Tiny Tina's, that's what he's talking about. I don't know who Killer 6 is. I will not lie. So, check out his game review on it before you check it out. Well, I wasn't intending to get Tiny Tina's. I've got Borderlands 3 to play if I'm going to play Borderlands at all. I think Genkai wanted me to play that with him at some point. So that is something that I might do at some point. I'm sure Catherine said she wanted to play it as well. But yeah, that's moves us on to the next news thing, which is Dune Awakening. Now, if you don't know what Dune is, it's a really famous book series by Frank Herbert. It's an absolutely fantastic book series. It's also a movie that came out last year, I believe, but it also has movies that have been out for decades, where Sting wears metal pants and flies through the air. And I'm not even joking about that. Sting, the actual, musician.
Sting, he was in it, yeah.
Yeah. And it's basically about this planet called Arrakis, where it has this stuff called spice, which can be used for all manner of different crazy shit, like giving people psychic abilities and space travel. And it's guarded by these giant motherfucking worms. And there's there's more than three factions, isn't there? There's the Harkonnen, the Atreides, the Ordos, the Royal faction, and then there's another one, but I forget the name of it. But it's these factions. They're all part of this empire. And the whole kind of premise of this is going to be like a MMO type survival game set on the planet of Arrakis. There's also the Fremen. I always forget the Fremen. And you're going to basically have a survival mechanics. I don't know what the survival mechanics are going to be necessarily, but it's made by the same people who created Conan Exiles. And that game has quite a cult following. I've signed up for the beta for it as well, and it looks really, really good so far. I mean, I love Dune stuff. There used to be old Command and Conquer style games. I think it was made by Westwood Studios as well, and it was basically Dune. It was just a really, really good series of games. But I'm really looking forward to it.
When's I'll sign up for the beta. Did it give you the...
There's no release date. There's no release date.
What about for the beta? No, nothing even for the beta?
Nothing for the beta yet. If you're signing up for it now, it's going to be at least it's probably
Forever.
6 months. But it's also got this cool website for it. And because Dune has got a lot of attention recently because of the movie, there's just a lot of cool shit. Like, honestly,
Nice.
if you guys want to get interested in Dune as a thing, like 100% check it out. Dune, the Dune books are readily available. There's so many cool things. Is that Sora? Why has he got kanji
Yes,
or
it
something?
is.
I got confused there. I just saw infinite and then kanji. I think it's kanji. It could be Chinese or something else. I'm not like 100% certain. But yeah, no, it's got, as you can see here, Dune open world survival MMO Awakening combines the grittiness and creativity of survival games with the social interactivity of large scale persistent multiplayer games to create a unique and ambitious open world survival MMO. Rise from survival to dominance in a vast and seamless Arrakis shared by thousands of players. Build shelters against sandstorms, maintain your still suit, and master the old ways to walk, even the deepest deserts. Avoid or be devoured by the colossal sandworms that dwell beneath the sands. Walk the ruins of the long-forgotten biological testing stations, scavenge the wreckage of fallen spaceships, and wander the dusty halls of abandoned sieges. Head into unmapped sectors and be the first to discover secrets and riches before the Coriolis storms once again shift the sands and alter the landscape. Hunt for the spice blows and deploy your harvester, then protect it from opportunistic raiders and rival factions. Soak the sand in blood as massive battles shift seamlessly from foot to vehicles and from ground to ornithopters in the sky. Make a name for yourself among the inhabitants of Arrakis, wield intrigue and force to influence the Landstrad and impact the world. Build your own faction through spice harvesting trade, subterfuge, and open conflict. Tailor every aspect of your character. Consume spice to conquer your senses and acquire powerful abilities. Hone your craft to become sought out for the finest creations. Construct your fortress in style, and choosing in your journeys is yours to shape. It sounds fucking amazing. And as far as I'm concerned, the spice must fucking flow. Like, honestly, one of the things, like, when Bubba linked me, I was so excited. One of you is echoing, and I'm not sure who which. But yeah, like, when Bubba showed me it, it just looks so good. I would heavily recommend going and having a look at it. And it just, yeah. Literally, it's one of the series that I'm the most excited about. Apparently, you're echoing, Wiggles.
Apparently I'm echoing? I don't see how.
You're echoing, Wiggles.
I don't think so.
Are you leaning into your mic with your headset?
No. I mean, I've been this way the whole way. I mean, it's nothing... I don't think so. Is it showing on the... Hang on.
Bubba's saying it is.
Showing on the Discord.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
Talking about survival, have you played Miss Survival from Steam? It's pretty technically survival horror, open world, but it's pretty difficult. Guys planning to make it multiplayer soon. I might take a look at it. I mean, why the fuck not? Let's see. Mist Survival. Boop. So let's have a look at it. Looks kinda, well, Fallout is the way I'd put it, but apocalyptic world. It looks more Last of Us, I suppose. DayZ type thing.
Mist Survival. Why does that sound familiar?
I'm fairly certain we spoke about it last stream or the stream before that. Well, last chat stream or the previous chat stream. One of them.
Yeah, okay. Oh, there's a bear.
Yogi.
An axe.
Hey, boo boo, we're about to eat that man.
Gotta water plants with. Oh wow, this.
We're
is
gonna
like the
steal his
ultimate-
picnic basket.
Gotta dig ditches and all right.
Okay, something weird. Definitely. Okay, it looks like fucking What's
Doesn't look
it look?
modern.
It looks like The Last of Us combined with Resident Evil. It does look modern, but it doesn't look like it. I think it's
It
an
looks
early
janky.
access. It's an early access game, so I
Yeah.
mean you can give it to, and it's not expensive. It's like £8, so it's
Oh, gotcha.
it's like one of those games that's looking for funding, basically.
Yeah.
It reminds me of 7 Days to Die.
But less cartoony looking.
Yes.
It looks interesting. And its reviews have been mostly positive, and its all-time reviews have been very positive. Steam reviews are quite reliable with that. If like a game is an absolute garbage dump, you don't tend to get like a shitload of bad views. If a game is mixed, then you need to kind of look into if there's been recent controversy and things like that. So yeah. Did you bring me a picnic basket? Yes. Yes, we did. It's got to be new Conan with a Dune skin, and that's perfect. Honestly, Sora, I've heard good things about Conan Exiles. It's just very expensive to get into playing it. I mean, let's see. I checked.
Is it a pay to win kind of thing?
No.
Oh.
It's expensive to get into it on the basis that, like, I'll bring it up on stream because I honestly can't remember. I fucking hate these age restriction things. I always just go January 1st, 1957 or something like that.
Right, yep.
So the current price to get all of the expansions and bundle stuff for it is £133.52.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that it's got a lot of content. It's got a lot of stuff. The game.
So the DLCs you have to actually buy them. They're not.
Yes. It is like a proper multiplayer MMOE style game with massive like PvP and shit in it. Like you can build fortresses. It's a very good looking game. But it's like it would be like buying. Imagine World of Warcraft charge you for all the expansions still. That's what it would be like buying into this game. So it's put me off going near it, basically.
I wonder how many people play it. Let's see here. We can find that out, sort of. Let's see. Steam charts on Conan Exiles. 10,000 people. So it's more than Fallout. More than Fallout 76.
Yeah. Yeah.
The 24-hour peak, the all-time peak. Yeah, all higher numbers than 76.
Oh, yeah, it's on Game Pass as well. Sora, I might give it a look on there then. It's a work in progress. Yeah, guy works on it as he gets funding. Only negative so far as NPCs are potatoes. I think that tends to be a lot of the arguments for, like, what's the word? For early access games. I'm fairly certain that's the exact same thing people say about 7 Days to Die, is that the NPCs are literally completely dumb as shit, and their pathing is terrible. So yeah. But if Conan Exiles... Well, basically, Conan Exiles and Dune are going to be the same type of game, in theory. It's just the Dune one is going to have the probably engine enhancements and graphical enhancements that come with being a game that's made later on. And to be honest, I'm more interested in Dune than I am in Conan. Though I did play the original. I think I don't know if it is the original. or if it's just Conan Exiles has been renamed. But the original Conan MMO that came out, I'm trying to remember what it was called, because the original Conan MMO I played, and I really, really enjoyed that. But again, the biggest problem I had with that game is I didn't have the people to play it with me, because I fucking loved that game, and I think it would have been so good to play. So I do like the idea of Conan Exiles. It's just, yeah. I played Dune 1, 2, and 2000. I'm fairly certain I played all of them as well. I loved the Dune games. I genuinely did. I did finally, though. It sucked. They all went back to being little babies. Who went to? Age of Conan. Yes. Yes. Sora, that's the one I played. I loved that game. I thought it was really good. Really, really well made game. But again, didn't have the people to play it with, so it kind of... I got bored playing on my own. Who put those harlots on the cross? It was I! God knows. I'm gonna guess Jesus. But no, it does look like a pretty awesome game, and would be something cool to play. But again, it really comes down to getting the people to play games. I bought all the expansions till Pandaria or WoW. Oh, right, that's what you were talking about. It's Conan, no Conab. What? Is Mr. Free having a stroke? Hey, Shrimp, how are you getting on, man? Welcome to the stream. What is crack-o-lackin'? Now, I've not said this tonight, but I will say it now. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that usual stuff. All the little relevant links for doodads are down below, and there is a pinned comment for the Discord server. So if you want to join the Discord server, keep in touch with everybody, play games that we're playing, definitely join on there. That way you can get an idea of what we're all doing. Don't know if anybody did join. Oh, Eagle joined the Discord server tonight. Perfect. I'm scrolling through it just to double check anybody managed to slip through the cracks, because that fucking bot has not been working the same way for the past while. Boobity boop ba doop. Yeah, I think everybody's in. Here we go. What is my wife messaging me?
Guess she's your wife.
No, she's messaging me fish questions about a friend's fish tank.
Yeah.
It's always fish stuff. Talking about Conan and stepping out of game for a bit. Have you watched Primal series and Adult Swim? Pretty Conan-esque series. I haven't, Anon. I do know an interesting fact about that series, though. That caveman that's in Primal is the same caveman that was in an episode of Dexter's Lab, which I find fucking hilarious. But I haven't watched it, but I have seen a lot of stuff about it, and it does look really cool. Maybe something I'll check out something at some point or other. And no, it was literally not because I was talking too loud. Your emphasis on Conan is wrong. You make it sound like Nan is a separate word, and it's not. I'll say Conan however the fuck I like. Shrimp, people who sleep with their eyes open are freaks. I mean, I don't necessarily think they're freaks, but I have to imagine they don't sleep very well. That's Gennady Tartovsky for you. What? I'm very confused. Right. Let's go back to that screen. Boop. There we go. I have way too much crap. I need more stuff. But I have way too much crap. But I also need more stuff. I need all my stuff back. like all my Pit Boys and stuff. Sleep is that thing where you
When are
lie
you
in
gonna put that
bed
one
for
together?
hours. What?
When are you going to put that one together?
When I get it back, it's in storage somewhere. It's not in this house. I don't want to look him up. This is going to be Bubba's OnlyFans, isn't it?
No.
It'll just be toe pictures. Ah. Yes, he did work on Dexter's Lab, Samurai Jack, and all that. Yeah, I that does make sense. But yeah, no, it's something that's on my list to watch. But I have a lot of things to watch, like genuinely between me, the wife, and everything else, like the kids, because I will watch kids' cartoons. Surprisingly, you get attached to certain ones because some of them are good, some of them are absolute filth. But yeah, no, I do need to watch a bunch of different things. Sleep is where you lay in bed for hours. I haven't done that in years and years. Well, maybe that's been the problem, Mr. Free. See, I don't even have a gaming chair at the moment. I literally have like a comfy chair that I'm currently sitting in because it's basically the right height to play at my desk. And it's better than my, well, it's got actual ass support. Oh, I know, Anon. I know 100% Primal is not for kids. I have seen footage of it, and it's pretty brutal. So yeah, I know. But yeah, it's on a list of things I need to watch. But I'm just saying, I watch things with a wife, I watch things on my own, and I also watch things with the kids. So there's like 3 things that pull my attention towards what I watch. Then I also make videos. I also stream. So I don't get as much time to actually watch things as I would like. And quite often, I get stuck in the YouTube vortex of weird pish and Karen videos or, you know, Am I a Jerk? Which is a good channel, by the way. Am I a Jerk is a very good channel. Just shit I can sit back and listen to. Oh, I don't doubt that my kids would be fine watching something like that, Derek. But at the same time, they're kids, so I'm not gonna not gonna dump that on them. Couldn't afford a proper chair, so I got a gaming chair. I can barely afford a proper gaming chair at the moment. People aren't frozen water. This is true. People definitely aren't frozen water. We're kind of water, but we're not. More flesh. Gushy flesh creatures. Just watched Moonfall on Amazon Prime. Surprisingly good. Is Moonfall the one with is it Leonardo DiCaprio, or who is it that's in Moonfall? It's like 2 actors that are relatively decent and well-known actors, and shit. Like the moon, yeah. Like who is it that's in that? Or am I thinking the other one? Am I thinking? No, that's the one that the moon is like a fucking monster or something, isn't it? Yeah, I think that is, and it's something. Well, I say it's like a fat actor that's the main focus on it, but I can't think who. What I would say, Sora, is one person's crap movie is another person's funny movie. Think of all the B movies that existed out there that people just find absolutely hilarious. And they're so bad that they're so good. Yes, Eagle, that is it. That is it. There's another one though that's like I think it's an asteroid was about to hit the Earth, and everybody was like freaking out. And it's 2 actors. It's like they're like astronomers. I kept confusing the both of them in terms of it. Fallout TV show looks good, promising with its set pick. Only things that bothers me is the set pick that they're using regular cars from the 50s, 60s and not using Fallout World cars. Yeah, that slightly annoyed me a little bit, Anon, but it is a case of they would have to... what's the word? Explain a lot of things. They'd have to like make functioning vehicles. So that says to me they're probably intending to run the cars. And there is some cars in Fallout that do look similar to 1950s style cars. But yeah, it just depends on how they're wanting to do it. But the sets do look awesome. Wolverine has been referenced in the Hulk, apparently. I'm fairly certain they referenced mutants in She-Hulk, because I seen a thing about it, and it was about the 90s X-Men theme. Leo and the Hunger Games chick. Yes! Yes, Sora. Yes, that's the one I was thinking of when he said Moonfall. That is 100% the one I was thinking of. But I forget what it's called. It's like Don't Look Up or something. That might be it. I'm sure it's Don't Look Up. I want actual Fallout World cars and not stupid lame Our World crap. Well, you can't get them, Mr. Free. For one, they're not real. Just the first time I haven't heard specifically, so it's bad, it's fun. I mean, it is a case of everybody has different opinions in movies. You can ask plenty of people different opinions on it. And I always find sometimes a movie is that bad it's good. Especially when it comes to sci-fi movies, that things are just so... Look, this was not the same movie. No, I didn't think it was, Tim, but the reason I confused them is they both started getting advertised at a similar point in time, and both of them seem to have a very similar thing of there's something going on in space, and people aren't taking the person talking about it seriously. And it was more the trailers and things that were very like, why aren't people taking me seriously kind of thing, and it went really strange. Hey Michael, how are you getting on, man? No, this is not live. I literally have just predicted this with the Magic 8 Ball, and I'm just flying by the seat of my pants. If the cars are only compromised, I'll be happy. Dale, I think we can all agree that the main thing that needs to be incorporated to the Fallout series is that someone needs to be clipping through a wall. And if there's no clipping, I don't see it as realistic. I don't see it as real Fallout. Things need to be clipping through walls. I loved Color Out of Space. Fave Nick Cage movie. I don't think I've heard of that one. I definitely don't remember hearing that. Let's have a look. Color Out of Space. When was this made? 2019, so not long ago. H.P. Lovecraft's Color Out of Space. How have I not fucking heard of this before? That looks fucking weird. I don't really want to watch a trailer of it because I don't want... Like, it's the kind of thing that might flag. But it does look funky. And it is Cthulhu-based. Well, not Cthulhu-based, but you get what I mean. I might look into that at some point and watch it. It does look interesting. I do have like the mythos of H.P. Lovecraft. I need to read through it. I haven't done it, but yeah, Nick Cage in a movie sounds hilarious in any circumstance. Like I can imagine. Oh god, my brain just drifted to the fucking Wicker Man, him dressed as a bear and knocking out that woman. There's nothing funnier. Just fucking completely, like, I always show people that just out of context. It's like, do you ever see Nicolas Cage dressed as a bear knock out a woman? And they're like, what? Like, oh, if the wall is melted with a skeleton in it. Wait, what? If I don't see a wolf frozen blitzing across the screen. Yes. Yes, Eagle. 100%. We need dogs on roller skates during the Fallout TV series production. Just yes, Sora. It is 100% a classic fucking scene. Nicolas Cage knocking out that woman. Oh, T-posing people would be hilarious. It's like, why are you doing that? It's like, this is the sign of our people. What people? No one. No one important. NPCs. No, I like, there's so many things they should add into the Fallout series as just a pure and utter unfiltered joke. You know, just silly dialogue for one. T-posing, yes. Clipping through stuff, 100%. Ragdolling. Like, I want somebody to walk into a room and there's just somebody clipped inside a wall, dead. Just go. That would, I would literally lose my shit. Be 10 out of 10, 100% accurate. Mr. Free, that's going too far. That's just going too far. No one wants that in TV series. The children of Atom T-pose well, lift their heads up, really. Their hands up. T-pose them, put them on a cross. That's what you do. Irradiate their faces. But yeah, I am looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm also dreading it. Because let's be honest, Fallout is something that we all love, obviously, and has the potential to be completely and utterly fucking destroyed. Not destroyed, but, you know, they could make a complete dog's dinner of it. Side character just stops talking. Main character has to step away and restart the dialogue with them. Yes. Whoa, yes. That's exactly the kind of thing. Like, I had in my head more of the Mass Effect type dialogue where it's just like, I should go. You just kind of wander off. Yeah, I definitely have heard a lot of bad stuff about the fingers, about the Halo stuff, Derek. It's just, I don't understand taking an IP and not drawing on the actual IP for inspiration. Like, not looking at the games, not looking at the storyline, not looking at the books, not looking at anything. Just going, yeah, I'm going to make up my own shit. Well, then why didn't you make your own shit up in the first place? Why did you not just make your own story, your own fucking characters? Don't take pre-existing characters and then take everything that they are and just take a big old shit on them. Nobody that's interested in the series, nobody that's interested in the franchise wants that in any situation. Step away, open pit boy, close pit boy, start dialogue. After the Halo show, my expectations are so low I can't possibly be disappointed. Oh, Sora, that's totally not true. I want the Super Mutants to look like 1977 Hulk. Was he grey? I feel like he might have been grey.
No, he was green. Lou Ferrigno.
Oh,
That's who he's talking about.
that Hulk. You
Yep.
Lou Ferrigno. Just 12 Lou Ferrignos attacking a settlement.
There you go.
The problem was they made the show not for... But this is the thing when it comes to... It's like Kevin Smith's He-Man butchering. He didn't make that for He-Man fans. He made that for himself. And he has stated in the past that he's not a He-Man fan. And this is really the problem, is you should get somebody that's a fan of a series to make that series. I don't necessarily think the directors necessarily need to be gamers, but they need to have at least be briefed and go, listen, this is this series. These are the things that are important to it. Don't fuck that up. But it makes a lot of difference if the person is an actual fan. Because a fan will make sure it comes out perfect. I mean, look at the Deadpool movies. Like, no one argues that the Deadpool movies are like 100% Deadpool. And that's because Ryan Reynolds was a fan of Deadpool. He actually liked the character. He loved the character, and he made it into what it needed to be. And that is the kind of thing you need with these series. You need the passion of somebody that actually understands the fan base of these characters and these things. And yeah, I think they really, really dropped the ball with the Halo series. They tried to make something using an IP not aimed at the people that support the IP, and ended up with an abomination, an abortion of a fucking TV show. I mean, I've heard the Resident Evil series has been cancelled, but I haven't seen that yet, so I don't know how bad that was in relation to it. But in my opinion, most Resident Evil movies that they've made have been quite bad anyway, so it's kind of... Some series just seem to be cursed when it comes to making stuff for them. Fallout TV show, the main character is talking to a side character in the open, and he gets attacked by Deathclaws as the side character's still talking to you as it happens. Just fucking... Meanwhile... We need a Todd Howard cameo as some Weasley shady character. Turns out, Purveyor Murgaburg was Todd Howard all along. Todd Howard as the mysterious stranger? Fuck that. Todd Howard as someone who gets shot by the mysterious stranger. Resident Evil series was utter crap. How was it crap, Matasbo? Like, I genuinely haven't watched it, and I haven't really read into it, because again, spoilers. I avoid them like the plague. But I know it's been cancelled after the first season, so I know we aren't going to get any more of it. So, why was it cancelled? What was bad about it? Was it bad CGI, bad story, combination of the two? Didn't stick to the Resident Evil franchise? Though, to be fair, the Resident Evil franchise is far flung from what it originally was. I mean, people that play Resident Evil nowadays are more in the mindset of mold, fungus, weird fungusy creatures. You know, it seems less super science and more crazy fungus. Whereas, and if you played the original games, it's all about Umbrella. Todd Howard should be the one above all of Fallout. I definitely don't think he should be. Todd Howard is a background merchant selling a plasma rifle to a settler, and they say, you know, it just works as it... No. Better way of doing it, Anon. Pretty much the exact same premise, but he just goes, it just works. And then you see the guy firing it in a later scene, and it explodes in his face and just melts him into like a fucking irradiated skeleton. I don't like the mold crap. Well, no one's asking you to eat it, Mr. Free. No one's asking you to eat it. Bad writing, utter lack of understanding while shoehorning in Resident Evil references. Ah, right. That is quite typically a problem you get when that happens. It's supposed to be Umbrella and the T-Virus. Magic Mushroom, do you know who he is, Dad? Know who is? Did I miss something, Tachanka? Oh, do I know who the one above all is? The one above all is the Marvel Universe's god, basically. Though it's been... I'm trying to remember if it was theorized it was... Is it Jack Kirby that the character was based on? But he's basically their god. The one below him's the Living Tribunal, all that kind of shit. Yes, I know. I'm not fucking just oblivious to who the one above all is. Marvel Universe God. Hey, sweetie, how are you getting on? Welcome to the stream. Give me a good Resident Evil 2 movie with the G-Virus and I'll be happy. I did love Resident Evil 2 at the time. Resident Evil 2 is a fantastic game. I've not played the remake, though. I really need to play that because I've got it. I mean, I've got the remake, I've got 3, I've got all of them. So I need to get back into playing them. So yeah, there's lots of good games to play at the moment. The thing is, Mr. Free, when it comes to it's supposed to be the Umbrella and the the T virus and all that. They had to change it up at some point. I don't blame them for trying something different. And the Biohazard game followed by Resident Evil Village, they are good games. I've not played Biohazard, but I'm assuming it's following the exact same lines as Village, which I have played. And Village is a very good game. It was very fun. I really enjoyed it, apart from certain points. Hey, Necrosis, how are you getting on, man? But it is a case of, at what point, like, they ended that story. I would agree that they could have called it something else. They could have made it their own different franchise. But they chose to go for the Resident Evil name because they were making it a survival-esque horror game. So it does fit the bill. It's just not quite the same. But I do feel like it is a good... I don't dislike them. Thank you for the sub, Kurt. Welcome to the channel. Don't know if you're in here or not, but thanks for joining. But yeah, they are good games. I can't say they're bad games. They're not the same Resident Evil I grew up with, though. And they don't have the same feeling at the same time as well. But that's not bad. It's not a bad thing. Change is good. Too much change can be bad, but change is definitely good to a certain extent. I hope the Fallout show leans more into the darker side of the franchise instead of the friendlier version Bethesda has mostly produced. It's Amazon, isn't it? Like, I'm not wrong that it's Amazon that's making it. They've got the boys. So, could do. I mean, if we get fucking murder cannibals, that will be perfectly fine. Murder cannibals would be interesting. Especially if they, like, it depends on where they're drawing their inspiration from entirely. Because they could follow any of the main core games as a storyline. They can draw on monsters from all of the games, so you can get fucking Cazadors, you could get cryptids. There's so many different things they could draw in. We could get a Frank Horrigan. I would love a Frank Horrigan. CGI 20-foot Frank Horrigan in power armor. Boom, boom. It could be really cool. Let's see, nah, still the same way. I haven't been so active, been relaxing all day. Reading stuff. Each free games are meant to be a trilogy of their own. That's why they have different feeling, camera styles, etc. One episode needs to be everyone loves Gary. I would love them to actually go to the vault full of Gary. Can you imagine? Just, I'm trying to think out. Oh, who could they get to be Gary? Just a vault full of Simon Peggs. Just Gary. Or even like a vault full of Todd Howards called Gary. It's like, Gary? That would, yeah. The Boys is mostly gore. Classic Fallout 1 and 2 tactics was super depressing. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, Anon. And the thing you need to remember about that is that was like before civilization could start getting back on a keel. So I definitely think Fallout 1 and 2 are the best ones to follow the inspiration from. 76 has a certain aspect of it, of the nukes have only recently dropped kind of thing. So the world is kind of still not managed to get that civilization to try and crawl back type aspect. But 76 doesn't have a story that's worth following. So I think they're definitely going to go for 1 or 2 as their story, or even 3. But I think they'll probably borrow aspects for all 3 of the first 3 games, because I don't think New Vegas is going to get a look in, and I certainly don't think Fallout 4 is. We might see synths, maybe, but I don't think it'll be any more than like a casual kind of thing. Like they kill a guy and they go, wait a minute, this is a fucking robot. Ryan Reynolds as Gary. I can see that. I can definitely see that. 100%. Jim Carrey as Gary. Oh my god. Vin Diesel as Gary. I mean, we know he can say the one line over and over again. Before 76, I always thought early days of post-war were like hell on earth. Yeah, no, 76 is definitely the game that breaks the mold with it. Hopefully Malcolm McDowell oh yeah, if they got Malcolm McDowell back to be President Ian, that would be pretty good. Though I one thing I think is they need to have, and if they don't have it, is Ron Perlman doing the intro. Because if Ron Perlman's not doing the intro, it's not a Fallout game as far as I'm fucking concerned. Literally not a Fallout game. Like, he needs to do the intro. It'll be good with the kind of self-contained, like how all the games are loosely connected by just... Yeah, I mean, the thing is, the only games that directly impact each other are 1 and 2. Because, obviously, the clans and everything that take the effect in 2 are based on what happened in Fallout 1. So the only games that directly 100%... Oh, Ron Perlman's already confirmed. Nice. But yeah, 1 and 2 directly and affect each other. Whereas 3, completely different area, so it doesn't really matter. Technically, New Vegas is linked to 3 because it's to do with the NCR, and the NCR are basically what 2 is. But they don't... It's kind of a loose inspiration for it, because the NCR isn't exactly the be-all and the end-all factor. The games have always dealt with the fallout of stories and events that took place pre-war, so I hope we get... Yeah, no, I would definitely like stuff like that. Pre-war stuff would be interesting, but it depends on how long after the bombs have dropped are we? Because that affects a huge amount of what the world will be and can be, depending on how close they follow the game timeline. Like, if they follow the game timeline, then they have to be quite rigid. But if they just kind of go, we're making its own thing, it's loosely based on it, we're going to borrow aspects from the stories, but we're going to make our own story, then I think they can get away with a lot more kind of random shit. But Fallout has quite a lot of lore. I mean, there's a lot of in-depth stuff, a lot of info, a lot of different things, but there's a lot of vaults that exist that we haven't heard anything about. So there's a lot of stuff that they could make shit up about. It depends on how closely Bethesda's working with them, because the one thing that typically Bethesda does really well with is their environmental kind of aspect in storytelling, and hopefully they've lended that to the team filming it. 25 years after the bombs dropped in Appalachia would be closer to reality. Problem is that it's not been confirmed that they will use the proper way never changes. Alright. I mean, I hope they use the war never changes intro, but it might just be a line during it. I think they will. Like, it doesn't make sense that they won't, because that is literally the tagline for Fallout. I can't think of a single Fallout game that hasn't been said. Not following one of the games is going to be a high risk, high reward kind of show. Yeah, no, I do agree, Eagle. It's a case of, I think we already know that it's got something to do with a water chip. So it seems like they're going to be taking the Fallout 1 origin at the very least. But not necessarily follow the same story, the same line of events. However, I think it would be a mistake not to, because let's be honest, is there an iconic villain in the Fallout series more than the Master? I mean, I can't think of literally the entire origin of the super mutants, the real origin of the super mutants. I know we have multiple origins for different super mutants in different games, but the real original origin of the super mutants and the Master is one of the easiest storylines for them to follow. And they might necessarily not follow it in the first season, but they can build up to that. They can totally build up to that kind of thing. And I'm hoping they do. And on top of that, there's also the Enclave. Like, are they going to bring the Enclave into it? Because they could do like a couple of seasons and then they move on to like a time skip. Because I don't necessarily know if we've got like a definitive hero yet. Like I don't, we don't, this is the thing, we don't know if they're going to be following like the Lone Wanderer, the Chosen One, then blah 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 blah. But there could be that each season they change to a different main character, which again is in line with the games in a sense. But it depends on how they're going to do it. It really depends on how they're going to do it. Rumor says the TV series will be close to California, so we might get the NCR and cause of the set picks, the Enclave. But the thing is, the Enclave's always present in Fallout, so yeah. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what they're going to do. I hope they go for a new story because I want something new. But I would love if they bring in aspects of other things that have happened in Fallout, like the Master. I'd totally love for that to be something that pops up. The Enclave 100% need to pop up at some point. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with Deathclaws, and hopefully they are the absolute abominations that they should be, and they go around murdering a load of people. But again, we'll see what that happens in regards to that as well. Yeah, but they might not see that way because they have the script already written. Yeah, it could be American Horror Story style, different themes each time. Well, that's the thing, Tachanka. It is a case of they could tell the story of like a series of individuals each season. They might follow a couple of seasons with the same group and then kind of swap over. They could be telling different people's stories simultaneously in the same vein of like Game of Thrones or like most like Stranger Things, where 3 diverging points all converge into the one thing. It's hard to say until we physically see what happens. The biggest problem with Fallout is it's typically been a one character is the center of the universe type story. So that's why Fallout 76 hasn't done as well as the other Fallout games, because you aren't the center of the universe. So it really just depends on what they want to do and how they're going to do it. Until it comes out, though, we won't know if it's a big, old, steaming pile of shit. So we'll need to wait for that when it happens. Stories for the Vault would be quite interesting as well, but we'll see what happens. Each episode is separate. I think that would be too much to just swap between completely different stories every time. I definitely think it'd be too much. The center of which universe, Mr. Free? A well-written, lore-friendly Fallout story would... Oh yeah, it would. It would. Anybody that... Because the thing is, if it's not well-written and lore-driven, you're gonna get a lot of people going, actually, I think you'll find that didn't happen till 2042. It's like, alright, no one cares. They'll actually put Mr. Free into the Fallout series, and he's just carrying like a backpack the size of a mountain. And it's like, it's fine, I can get there. But no, it'd be interesting to see what happens. It's a series that I am definitely invested in, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Now, before I forget, there's a couple of other little news things that I wanted to put up on screen today. And we'll just make sure I'm bringing them up properly. So, if you guys have Amazon Prime, there's a couple of freebie games that'll be coming soon. As you're seeing here, we're getting Assassin's Creed Origins, which is the one in Egypt. Not played that one myself, so that's a free game that I will be quite happy to get. Football Manager 2022. Not a big fan of football, so not exactly one I'm interested in, but, you know, I know that's quite a popular game among certain people. You're getting the Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor game of the year edition, and that is a really good game. Like, genuinely really, really, really good game. So if you guys are interested in that, I would definitely recommend getting it. If you've got the Amazon Prime. The Dig, which I'm not familiar with. LucasArts, Steven Spielberg comes an epic adventure that plunges players into the very core of the unknown. Take on the role of Boston Lowe, an NASA veteran tasked with stopping an asteroid the size of the moon crash course. So it's basically the movie Armageddon. That's literally what that is. That is the script of the movie Armageddon. Defend the Rook. Jump into roguelike tactics board combat. Integrate with tower defense. That sounds interesting. We the Revolution. Plunge yourself in a blood-soaked world of the French Revolution as you take the role of a judge of the Revolutionary Tribunal, presiding over intricate cases. That sounds strange, but maybe interesting. Castle on the Coast parkour, fruit hand-drawn retro 3D castle as George the Giraffe. The fuck? String together spectacular acrobatic moves as you explore crystal caverns, stone-laden halls, and trippy alternate dimensions. That is the weirdest one so far. Word of Law Death Mask Collection. Embrace the Fibisque detective as you investigate several crimes and city governments. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, they're all going to be free this coming month. So if you're interested in them, definitely check them out. I mean, if you've got Amazon Prime, they're basically free, so why the hell not? That's the thing about these kind of companies now. They're just all giving out free games, so why not play them or use them if you can? Let's see, what is everybody saying in regards to that? Won't be any NPCs season 2, just an actor wonder. Fucking hell. That would be a horrible season 2, Tim. Would you be a trader in Resident Evil 4? What you buying? The Fallout world hits you hard, so hopefully they show up. Yeah, I'm hoping it does as well. I don't have Prime. Well, I mean, I do. Nice, my PC will probably run Assassin's Creed Origins in 1 frame an hour. Fucking hell, Eagle. What are you using? You're using a toaster. Why spend money for stuff I don't use? Sounds like a good PC. Actually, kind of like Assassin's Creed Origins. Just started it for Game Pass. I swear I'm not on a shell here. Sora, Game Pass is a very good deal. Like, I don't think anybody can deny that. If you're going to use Game Pass, definitely. I got Middle-earth for £1 at a nerd shop. Nice, Tachanka. That is a very good deal for a good game. I definitely need to play Assassin's Creed Origins. It just gives me an excuse to do it. If Assassin's Creed comes to Goo, I'm confused. Odyssey is meh. Origins was gold. Valhalla, I don't know yet. I've heard Valhalla is really good from people that have played it, but I haven't played it myself, so I can't really comment. But Valhalla is definitely seeming to be a good Assassin's Creed. I think because it's got different aspects to it. It's not like your older Assassin's Creed games, but I've not played it, so I can't rightly comment. The problem is them Ubisoft games are dense. I think most Ubisoft games have been dense over the years, yeah. Mr. Free, what day is your BioShock? Oh, right, it's 2 separate questions. I read that as, Mr. Free, what day is your BioShock? Tomorrow. What day tomorrow is your BioShock? All the programs I have for uni insist on taking precedent over PC games. Slows my... Oh, right, that makes sense, Eagle. That definitely makes sense. Having a lot of hefty programs that you need to have on there definitely aren't good. Though you could get like a different drive for your games. I mean, that would maybe help. And you don't necessarily need to be running all the programs at once, surely. Dad, you can go Scotland in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The problem with that being, I know what Vikings do in Scotland. I definitely know what Vikings do in Scotland. What are you going oops at, Tachanka? I just want to hear Tay squeal when she sees Infinite. I'm very confused. Oh, what's going on? Who's messaging me? No one's messaging me. It's just a random Discord thing. You can't go to Scotland. Why would I want to go to Scotland in the game anyway? Fucking hell, Sora.
Tisk, tisk.
Tisk tisk.
Mm-hmm. What I said.
He's getting eaten by a shark. Also, I thought you died. Everybody
No,
wants
I
to
was
go to Scotland,
dinner.
Mr. Free. Everybody.
I do.
See?
Someday.
Everybody. But yeah, that's pretty much that. So, since I am actually working tomorrow, which is an unusual thing for me, working on Mondays, so I think we are going to end the stream here. I've talked about pretty much everything I wanted to talk about tonight anyway. A couple of other little news things that I didn't get into, but the main ones I wanted to talk about, we have 100% covered. So big thanks to everybody for joining in and watching. If you enjoyed the stream, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe as usual. All the relevant links are down below. We have our Discord in the pinned comment, so come along on there. We intend to play games together and do other stuff and things like that. There's a lot of stuff coming and whatnot. Tomorrow we have a new formatted video. If you guys caught my video of the Cryptid Zone the other week there, last Monday, we've got a second episode up, so definitely go give that a look tomorrow night at the usual time of 7 o'clock my time, which should be interesting. But yeah, as again, thank you very much to every one of you for watching, and we'll catch you all next time in the wasteland. Probably not. Maybe not the wasteland. Maybe somewhere else. We'll see. But yeah, thanks guys. Catch you later.